Hello everybody, welcome to Sodium Gym's updated post-Evo tier list. That's a bit of a mouthful. We're just about to start. I'm recording this on my stream, which you can see from the overlay. So people will be contributing and stuff, so you'll be able to see the chat and everything else like that. So we're basically just starting from the beginning. I just basically asked people what order they want to do stuff, if they want to do it from bottom to top or take requests. So we've got one request from Anisian to take a look at lube first. Did I say noob or lube? Noob first. And then I will just take it from the bottom, or if anybody else wants to chime in with any requests or anything for character discussion, then feel free. If you're in chat and you want an explanation as to why I've chosen something, then please just let me know. So alright, we'll start from the beginning. Hey, Chapos. How's it going, my man? You alright? Greetings from London. Are you having a good Tuesday morning? Is it still morning there? Yeah, just, I guess. You having a good Tuesday morning? So, noob. So, hold on. Where did we have it? Let's put him here. Where did we have it? Oh, yeah, I've got Steam open. Let's close that. Last time we had noob as a B+. So, what are noob's strengths, eh? I'm doing really well, my friend. I'm doing really well. I like doing tier lists. I like discussing the game and talking about the characters, so I was looking forward to this tier list. I only really got the idea to do it yesterday, but all night. Okay, you're sick. No. Just make sure you drink plenty of water, dude. But I'm doing really well, thank you. Just about to talk about Noob. Noob Cybot, what are his strengths? One of the few characters in the game with a 9-frame mid, so obviously that's an important tool. Very, very strong damage output, very good anti-airs. His down 2 is very good. His up Shadow Clone is a good anti-air as well. Air Sickle is a very good move to bypass the normal movement of the game. I remember Mike Ross, I think it was Mike Ross, said something years and years ago in an Excellence Adventure when he was talking about Oni. And he said any character that bypasses the normal movement of the game is a strong character. And I think I've held true to that for a while now, because I think it is a very valid point. Because obviously games are designed with certain, defined movement parameters in mind when they're designing a character. You have especially if it's a 2D fighting game, you have them on the same plane, right? So any character that moves outside of just like the walk backwards, walk forwards, jump back, jump forwards, is a strong character. So the fact that, a stronger character at least. Yeah, dude, Mike Ross is the GOAT. Did you see he came out, Cross Counter had their party on Saturday at Bar Fights, and he came out and he did a set with L.I. Joe. I really hope they post that online because I really want to watch it. But he looked really good, man. He looked really, really good. I really, really hope they do more Excellent Adventures. I mean, he's sworn off Street Fighter 5, I think, for the rest of time. But he does play Mortal Kombat, funnily enough. He was in an interview. He was on Gutex and the podcast, the Slasher podcast, as a guest, and he was talking about that he's been playing a lot of Mortal Kombat. So it'd be cool to see him play. But yeah, I just miss both of them, man. Just miss both of them very much. But yeah, I mean, maybe we should talk about what makes a character in this game a strong character. So we've spoken a little bit about movement. So things that allow you to move outside the normal movement parameters. What else makes you strong? Mix-ups, obviously. If you've got a good 50-50 or you've got some good offensive pressure, that makes you a strong character. Good crushing blows, obviously, is a must. If you've got very, very good crushing blows, like Garrus or somebody like that, easy. Not just good damage and you get like a bounce off them or something, but how easy are they to do? What are the requirements for the crushing blows? Because, there's some characters in this game who are very, very easy to do crushing blows, and there's some characters in this game where the requirements are essentially impossible. So, ease of use of crushing blows and practicality of crushing blows, I guess would be the best way to put it, would be another reason. I guess their overall damage, how much damage do they do from combos and stuff, if they do get a hit confirm. And I guess how much effort does it take to get a reasonable amount of damage. That's always another thing I like to look at. How much effort, hey, morning Nick, you good? How much effort does it take to get that sort of damage from the character when you do get hit confirm? Alright, no worries, man. You just chime in and out. It's nice to just have you in the chat. So yeah, using those 5 things in mind: movement, crushing blows, mix-ups, overall damage, and ease of use. Those are the 5. Let me write that down actually, so in case anybody's wondering what my criteria is. Oh, and I'd just like to say, actually, we'll do a 6th one as well. So movement, damage, crushing blows, movement, damage, crushing blows, ease of use. Damn, what was the last thing? Movement, damage, crushing blows, ease of use, mix-ups. And what was the 6th thing? I just had a 6th thing as well. Just as, oh yeah, tournament results. So we'll use these will be our 6 criteria. I'll put it at the top. Okay, I think this is a good checklist, right? We'll use this as a checklist for each character. So we'll use this as a checklist for each character. So if anybody comes in chat and they're like, "Well, what are you basing this on?" I can just be like, "Meh, meh," and it gives us some more flawless block gaps. Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. That's a good one to add. Flawless block gaps. Yeah, that's a very good point. I like that one. Oops. Yeah, we'll add that too. Yeah, so just a bit more of a comprehensive way, because I think last time we were just talking about it for ages rather than like actually coming up with a list of things that we need to discuss. Bear in mind as well that this is, I should specify, this is an offline tier list. Obviously, if we were to do an online tier list, I think the results would be not very different, but I feel like actually maybe they would be very different thinking about it, based on people's specific dislike for certain characters. But we're just going for now. We're just doing an offline. Maybe we'll do an online. We'll do an online tier list at another point, but maybe when I get back from holiday next week, we can do an online tier list. But yeah, for now we'll stick with offline, because I feel like online, if we were to do online tier lists, I think personal biases would get in the way, and people would just be like, "You need to put Cetrion up there. She's S plus." It's like, well, I mean, she isn't. And obviously, depending on which character you play, the tier list is going to be different. So we'll just do a normal offline tier list right now, using these criteria as the reasons for why we're placing characters in certain lists. So yeah, as I said, let's talk about noob. So last time we had noob as a B+. So let's put this over here so we can just have it in mind whilst we're talking. So, movement options. As I was just saying before we made the list, Noob Cybot. Should we talk about both variations, or should we just talk about, I guess, variations as well, right? Variations would be another one. We'll talk about, actually, maybe we'll do variations first, because then we can lay an outline of what we're actually talking about. Because obviously some characters have 2 good variations, some characters have 1 good variation, some characters don't have any good variations. So we'll talk about variations first. So noob has obviously Dark Sabbath and Seeing Double. Dark Sabbath is more of the hard-hitting combo, powerful combo route. Seeing Double's more of the zony keep away route because it has the air teleport and the slide, as opposed to Dark Sabbath, which has the air down sickle and the ability to combo off the teleport. As far as I'm aware, it's usually, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Anishim, but as you play noob, and Nick as well. Mainly the main one that gets any sort of practical use is Dark Sabbath, because I'm not sure if the zoning on seeing double is that great, and ultimately you want to take noob for the damage, and the ability to combo off his teleport is just really strong. So yeah, he's got one really good variation. I'm not sure about the other variation. And yeah, going back to movement options, obviously he does have a teleport, which is obviously an amazing ability, especially against anti-zoners, or if he gets a good read, he can get big damage off just a raw teleport. And also, as I said, the air sickle, it allows him to change the arc of his jump, obviously, because it for those people that don't really know what it does, he throws a sickle down on the floor and he can teleport to it. And if he amplifies it, he can use it as a whiff punish because it launches. So the reason why that's a strong move is because if he's jumping, then, and he, you try, so it's happened to me a bunch of times, you try and do an anti-air, he can just teleport through you and launch you with the sickle snag and get a full, not sickle snag, sorry, with the air sickle and get a full combo. So definitely having those, the teleport and the sickle, is very practical. Overall damage, his overall damage is great. He can get on, I don't know if it's on male and females, but on males I know he can get 380 damage 1-bar combos. Is it 1 bar? No, 380, I think 380... Is it 2-bar or 1-bar combos, Anishim? Anyway, his damage is pretty decent, especially in the corner. He can get upwards of 400 damage, so, he's definitely quite strong when it comes into the overall damage department. Crushing blow requirements. His crushing blows are a bit whack. He's got crushing blow on both throws, I believe, so that's strong. Any character that has crushing blows on both throws is strong. And then he's got one on his back 3, which is if he catches some stand blocking. However, generally when it comes to noob, you wouldn't really be stand blocking because he only has one overhead, and that's in his string, which is 112. So there's no real reason to ever block high against noob, and that's super reactable. Hey, morning, Papa. Just talking about noob. There you go. Yeah, so his damage is great. 40% or more anywhere off screen off 1 bar. So that, I mean, that puts him amongst the top damage dealers in the game, combo-wise. Yeah, his crushing blows aren't great. Yeah, he's got that one which is like, what, hit 409 shadows, and then you get a crushing blow off the shadows, which is complete, and it's not 409 obviously, but it's really completely impractical. The counter hit back 1 is pretty good, and yeah, but it doesn't give you anything. It's just a big damage counter hit. The back 3 one does if you're blocking high. It gives you a bounce into more damage, so that's okay. But again, you shouldn't really be blocking high against noob anyway, so that's a bit harder to hit too. So his crushing blows aren't great. Ease of use, I would say he's fairly easy to use because his game plan is quite straightforward. However, to be good with him and to get results, I don't think he's that easy to use. Because he doesn't have any mix-ups, really. So you have to just play him really honest. So lots of whiff punishing, lots of counter hit, like you making sure you have counter hit crushing blow locked and loaded and used at the optimal time. Lots of making sure that you because his combos, his optimal combos are a bit finicky to do as well. So it's not like you can just hit 113 into teleport. I mean, you can still get about 330 damage anyway, but to get like the proper high-end 300 damage combos, your execution has to be a little bit more on point. So I don't think he's that easy to be really good with. Mix-up potential is 0. He doesn't have any mix-ups, as we just said. He's got one overhead, which is 112, and it's the 2 part of the string is an overhead. Other than that, there's no reason to ever block high against him unless he does like a hop attack or something. Yeah, so he's definitely not going to mix you up. The only real mix-up he has is when he finishes his combo, he can do back 113 into a fireball, which restands you, and then he gets a little mix-up there, but it's not like Garrus's, which is 1-1 sand trap or 1-1-1 overhead. You know, you have to actually hit the whole combo, and then you get the restand at the end. So, yeah, mix-up potential is very limited. Tournament results. As far as I'm aware, he hasn't been placed outside of... I mean, in England, there's a guy called Hollow, who is really good, who's been getting reasonable success with the character, but outside of him, I can't think of any top-level noob Cybots. I mean, I could be wrong. Has anybody seen any, like, really, really, really top-level noobs? I think there was a couple at Evo, but off the top of my head, I can't. Yeah, no, I've said that. The crushing blow, having crushing blows on either side is definitely a super strong mix-up. I mean, I guess that's a mix-up as well. If you have crushing blows on either side, that's a strong mix-up, because then you fail, you escape fail once, and you're like, oh crap, is he going to go for it again? And then he gets the crushing blow. And the way that it works, I think, is if you fail, say if he goes to forward throw you, and obviously this works on everybody, with 2 sides of crushing blows. If they escape fail you, and then say you go for a back throw, right? You go for a back throw, they fail the tech. So next time you do a back throw, you get the crushing blow on it, right? But if they fail their tech again on that back throw, that means that you've got the crushing blow on the forward throw. Oh, awesome. Thank you, man. Awesome. Thank you, Beamer. Oh, wow. There you go. Oh, this is amazing. I didn't know this existed. Thank you so much, man. Oh, geez. This could be a podcast in itself. Oh, there you go. So, Noob Cybot. Best player, Toxin. Oh, yeah. Toxin. I forgot about him. So, he's got top 100 3 times. Wow, thank you, dude. I really, really appreciate you sending me this. This is an amazing resource. Well, yeah, so you can see Noob exactly smack bang in the middle here. Oh, wow. That's really cool. Alright, well, so if we ever... Oh, yeah, you can see character statistics. Well, yeah, if we ever do something like this again, we'll definitely make sure that we've got these. Awesome, man. Thank you very much. So, yeah, here we can see Noob Cybot smack bang in the middle. Let's click this one too. Yeah, I didn't realise it was still going either, to be honest with you. Oh wow, you can actually just straight up see the tournaments. It's this Arnold guy. Give him a high five. Cassie. Where's Cassie on this? Oh, there you go. No surprise, Foxy Grandpa. So yeah, this is a good resource. Awesome, thank you very much, man. Yeah, so Noob, smack bang in the middle. Toxin is a sick noob, actually. But his best rank in the world is 24. Top 50's 2. top hundreds 3. That's not great. Top 3 twice. Yeah, so his tournament results aren't. Actually, I'll tell you what. Do this a little bit so we can. His tournament results aren't amazing. So, you know, that's another thing that would maybe potentially put him a bit lower on the list. And then lastly, flawless block gaps. As far as I'm aware, he has no gap. Dude, you helped immensely. Thank you so much. As far as I'm aware, he doesn't have any gaps. I could be completely mistaken, but Inision, does he have flawless block gaps? By the way, if I'm talking about your character that you play and you have knowledge about that character, please feel free to chime in, because my knowledge, whilst I know a lot, it's not all-encompassing. I don't know everything about every character, so please chime in. If you play a character and you realise that I'm chatting complete nonsense, then by all means just chime straight in and say, oh, I can't believe you don't know about X, Y, Z. But as far as I'm aware, there's no gaps. So, I mean, that's good that he can, his foot is 2, what, does 2-1-2 have a gap? No, it doesn't, does it? Because I remember, I think I tested that. Yeah, if he does, 1-1-2. Oh, 1-1-2, okay. Yeah, I thought that might do. The overhead, because it's so slow. But, hey, Con. We'll see. I mean, as I was saying to the guys at the start, firstly, howdy, how's it going? Yeah, no, we're just talking about flawless block gaps. So, as far as we're aware, 1-1-2 is the only the only gap for noob. Where did I have him last time? B+. I'm not doing minuses, by the way, because I feel like if you're an A-, then you're a B+, right? So we'll have pluses because maybe you're not quite good enough to be in the up tier, but if you're a minus, then you should probably go in the tier below. Do people agree with that, or do they want me to do A- and B- as well? I think I'm going to put him down, you know. I think I'm going to put him from a B+ to a B. Mostly just because his tournament results just haven't been there, you know. If he was a really strong character, or even if he was like an upper character, then I feel like he would have much more success. I mean, looking at his, thank you for Beamer for his excellent contribution here, but as you can see, he's only got 2 top 3. I'm guessing that was both Toxin as well. Let's have a look. How's it going, Con? You good? Yeah, look, it's just Toxin. Well, last time I didn't have plus tiers. Everybody complained about... Yeah, we'll do Shang next. Everybody complained about not having plus tiers, so I was like, right, I'll put plus tiers in then. So I just got them in for the sake of... I mean, I think pluses is fair, because you might have a character that's just on the cusp, and maybe with a change or two would be in the next rank. But... well, I mean, what do we think about Noob as a B? Are we happy? I mean, I don't think Onision's happy, but are we happy with Noob as a B? Would anybody want to put him higher? I don't think he's lower than B, because I think he does too much damage to be a B, and his movement options are too good. Yeah, I just think a lack of mix-ups, a lack of crushing blows, lack of ease of use to be a really practical, like, massive damage character, and predominantly 0 mix-ups. I think a B is fair. Is there anybody that thinks that I'm chatting complete nonsense, or do they think that's a fair assessment for Noob? But then again, he does have a 9-frame mid, So maybe he goes just in B plus just by virtue of that. Yeah, 100%. He's got A tier damage. I completely agreed. But yeah, if we compare the amount of effort you have to put in with him, let's just compare him for Baraka just for the sake of argument, right? I would say both play in a similar sort of way in the sense that they both have quite a, you think B plus minimum. Yeah, that is the 9. I've completely forgot about the 9 frame mid. Yeah, we'll put him in B plus then, because having that 9 frame mid is such a vital tool, especially as the way that the poke meta is at the moment. But I mean, if you compare Noob to yeah, but it's not easy to do though. That's what I was just gonna say. If you compare Noob to Baraka, say, right, neither of them are massively mix-up characters. Both are quite straightforward in their approach. You know, they're gonna hit confirm you into big damage. Baraka, you just do dash 4 into chop chop, and you get 380 damage in a dot. Noob, you have to do a dash, and you have to do, you know, make sure that this whiffs at the right time, and be really precise with your timing on the combos. And I just think, just for the amount of effort that you have to put in with him. But then I guess, yeah, 9 frame mid is always super useful, so I guess that would put him above most of the B tier characters. So yeah, I guess B plus. Good point, Con. I guess B plus would be a fair point for him then. Going once, going twice. Sold. Okay, sold at a B plus. Now we're going to talk about Shang. I think he's D. Next character. No, I'm joking. Shang Tsung. Right, so Shang Tsung is an interesting character. If they made Noob's back 3. Yeah, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. But that is, I mean, that is exactly why crushing blow requirements is one of my criteria. It's just some of them are really good, and some of them could be really good, but they don't really have the requirements are just a bit too finicky to, like back 3. They're a bit too finicky to be super practical. Morning, Latsimo. How you doing, my dude? You right? Sorry, Anishin. He can be top 1 in my heart. How's that? I love him. I think character design wise, Noob Saibot is easily one of the best characters in the game. I love how they've done him with like the combo moves, and how they've made Noob and Saibot so integral with each other moves wise, and his crushing blows and everything like that. His fatal blow, sorry, is sick, and his fatalities are sick, and his intros and outros are amazing. I just think that you have to put in a bit too much effort with him to get maximum results. Shang Tsung, obviously, so Evo was the first tournament of all the tournaments. Imagine, Evo's the first tournament that had Shang Tsung as a viable character, so that was interesting in and of itself. There was a lot of speculation, shall we say. Pardon me, there's a lot of speculation, shall we say, at the start that it was going to be an all Shang Evo, right? Shang Tsung's all over the place, top 8 littered with Shang Tsung's. Much like the CEO, where Tonya was the toppest tier character by a country mile, and there was like 19 tenures in top 8. You know, it was a big blow up basically, and I think a lot of people felt like Shang was going to be like that. I don't think Shang Tsung is as broken as everybody says he is. Obviously, we've got a couple of Shang Tsung mains in the chat, who will be trying to prove me otherwise. If we just take it from the top, right? So variations, right? His second variation is garbage. I've heard one person, I think not Place of Power, wherever he, half Italian Stallion. He hasn't been here for a while actually, but I remember before I went on holiday, he was saying that I think he plays. Is it called Spellmaster, the second one? I mean, I've tried it out. The life leech seems to be pretty good, and the laser beam seems to be like it can be effective. It works in a very similar way as Cetrion's Fire Blast. But other than that, you basically sacrifice all of your combo potential just for a slightly potentially slightly stronger zoning game, but then is it even stronger because ground eruption is really strong? So I think Shang Tsung's second variation is a bit whack, but obviously Warlock is amazing. So I mean, if only just for the strength of the ground eruptions. So I mean, in terms of variations, it's only really got one. At the moment, we're only seeing one viable tournament one, which is Warlock. Movement options, obviously he doesn't have a teleport. He's got a forward 4 and a forward 3 that allow him to cover ground quite quickly with the dashes. A lot of his strings seem to move him forward, like forward 2, 4, 2, back 1, 1, 2. But yeah, they all sort of move him forward. Soul still move. Yeah, it's like a weird frame trap thing, isn't it? People just aren't ready for it after strings. But yeah, in terms of movement options, obviously he doesn't have a teleport or a dash, like a super dash or anything like that. So, you know, his movement options, he has to approach you like a normal character would approach you. Overall damage, I think, is quite high, actually. I mean, again, I've not played him tons and tons, but it seems like you do get a fair bit of damage from his combos. Like, obviously he's not noob damage, but from, like, standard combos, what is he looking at, like 300, 310? Is that about right on his B&Bs? Like, if you were to do ground eruptions into standing 4 into soul steal, or standing 4 into more ground eruptions, just from like a normal like 114 hit confirm, is it about 310? That's not bad for a 1-bar combo. He doesn't really seem to get much off 2-bar combos, as far as I can tell. Oh, 360. Alright, that's not bad. 360 on B&Bs, I mean, that's pretty solid. Is that 1 or 2 bars? Because as I was saying, I don't really see much use for him having... He doesn't really have massive 2-bar combos. The only thing you could really do is amplify Soul Steal for a bit more damage. No, we're talking about Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung. So yeah, fairly decent overall damage. Which are 2-bar. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty decent for 2-bar, I guess. Yeah, he does need to use his bar. Yeah, he doesn't. So yeah, that's what I thought. I thought about 310. So it's not astounding damage, but it's not bad at all. I mean, I think as far as if you want like the absolute minimum you want to have, oh, 4, 2, 4 strings super with punishable. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. But we can talk about that when we go to gaps and stuff. Maybe we can talk about we'll talk about punishable strings, because that's quite a good point. Actually, I didn't realize. I didn't consider that, but that's a good point as well. Yeah, 4, 2, 4. Yeah, we'll definitely get to his flawless block gaps, because he does have a lot. That's part of the reason why I don't think he's such a strong character. But we'll get to that when we get to the flawless blocks at the end. Damage, when he does crushing blows, his damage goes up by a lot. Actually, I'll tell you what we should do as well. We should add wake up options, because then we can talk about the up 2s and up 3s as well. Crushing blow requirements, I think, are quite easy. He's got a really good counter hit one with forward 2, 4, 3. Back 1, down 2. Is it back 1, down 2? The overhead one, if they're ducking, that's quite a good one as well. The one where if he back throws you after a morph, shortly after a morph, I'm not sure about that one. I've never actually seen anybody use it in a real match, but he does have a couple of decent ones. Does he have any other ones that I've forgotten? Those are the main 3, right? Forward 2, 4, 3, and back 1, down 2. Unless I've had a complete brain fart. But yeah, Crushing blow requirements are pretty straightforward. I mean, he's got a couple of on his ninja variations, but you know, we're only talking about tournament variations, so we'll forget about those. Ease of use. Oh, what is it on EX Skulls? What if the last hit of Skulls hits? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I mean, yeah, that's pretty wank. Yeah, I was gonna say, because not only is that, I would imagine, fairly difficult to hit anyway, but you'd have to spend 2 bars because each extra hit uses a bar, doesn't it? So they'd have to basically stand up into it by mistake. At the cost of 2 bars, it's not great. So yeah, I actually didn't even know that one existed. So just shows you how much I know about it. Yeah, but it's 2 bars. Yeah, it really does rely on them making a big mistake, just like standing up into it or something. That's not worth it at all. Ease of use. I think Shang is fairly difficult to use, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, something like, if we were to look at just his Soul Steel, for example, which obviously is one of his main gimmicks, you need to have a fairly comprehensive knowledge with every character in the game, because I think that's what makes him such a strong character as well, which hasn't been really utilised at this point, because most people tend to just use him as a zoning character, which makes sense because his zoning is amazing. But I feel like the ability to morph into any character and then take their crushing blows is... Shang has a bunch of strings to remember. Yeah, I mean, I only really use... What do I use? Back 1-1-2 sometimes, 1-1-4, forward 2-4-2 or 4-3. He's got a couple of weird ones, but again, as the game evolves, I'm sure that there'll be other use. Yeah, I think he's difficult. I don't think he's easy to use at all. I think, yeah, as I was saying, the fact that people don't really seem to be utilising the Soul Steel to try and get the other person's crushing blows, especially when they're against a character with really straightforward to do crushing blows. Oh yeah, sorry, back 3, up 4 as well. Back 1 overhead, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about back 3 actually. Back 3 is a really good move. And he's got fairly good pokes as well. His down 3 is good. Yeah, his back 3 is good. His normals are a bit stubby sometimes, like 1-1-4 is super stubby. And his wake-ups, we'll talk about his wake-ups in a minute, but... Soul Sword's only worth it if you exit. Yeah, because I guess it doubles the time of it, right? So... I guess 4 or 5 seconds, whatever it is, isn't enough to get like maximum damage. Oh, it gives you a damage buff. I didn't know that. What, does it... Does the normal one not give you a damage buff? I had no idea about that. Yeah, so I don't think he's super good to use. It's super easy to use, rather, to pick up. He is fun to play, but I don't think he's easy to use. Where did we have him last time? Oh, we had him as A-. Mix-up potential. Oh, dang. Soul stealing your old main. Especially if your old main was Garrus. Mix-up potential. He doesn't really have a lot of mix-ups. I mean, apart from the back 3 up 4 or back 3 down 4, I guess. And then he's got back 1 down 2, but most people are ready for that these days, so it's not a massive mix-up. I guess pressing a button into Hellspark, into Ground Eruption maybe, like down 3 into Ground Eruption or down 1 into Ground Eruption. I'm not sure that really counts as a mix-up though. I mean, mostly he's just reliant on hit confirming or zoning, right? So would you guys say that he had a lot of mix-up potential? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, one or throw. It's not. He's not a mix-up character at all. So his mix-up potential isn't great. Tournament results we can't really use because I mean we can look at the statistics. He's at the bottom, obviously. Captain Fluffles is right now put as the best player. I'm sure that Foxy would have something to say about that, but then again, he's been top 3 in one. He's out of one tournament. He's been top 3, so and he was top 8 at Evo. So you know, but yeah, I think it's a bit too early to talk about tournament results. Flawless block gaps. I think, yeah, as Con mentioned briefly beforehand, he does have a few gaps. Both of his plus gaps, both of his plus strings have big gaps. Back 112 has a big gap. Forward 242 has a big gap. Back 3 up 4 doesn't just have a big gap. You can fully anti-air it so that you can get a full combo by punishing it with a standing 1 or whatever you want, really. As he said as well, forward 2-4 is super whiff, as Con said before as well. Forward 2-4 is super punishable, whiff punishable. So yeah, I mean, his strings are good if you, just if you're not going to flawless block them. He's got a lot of plus frames as well. Obviously, forward 4 is a high, but it leaves him plus. Is it plus 5? So that's pretty good. But yeah, he's got a fair few strings, and I'm not sure that they're super good just yet. I mean, I guess that's a mix-up as well. If you're going to do forward 2-4-2. And you think you got the read on the flawless block, and you try and flawless block it, and you get hit by the forward 2-4-3, and you get counter hit. It's not really a mix-up though, but that is I guess a sort of mini mix-up option to try and punish somebody who you think is going to flawless block you. So yeah, not amazing strings. And then his wake-up options. His up 3 and up 2 both have really short range, and so does his fatal blow. So even if you were to do wake up fatal blow, which I've tried to do a couple of times when I've been playing online, I go wake up fatal blow, and it's like bleh, and this green thing just comes out of my hand and goes like 2 feet in front of me, and the other person's just like, I'm gonna whiff punish you now. It's like, oh. So, but then if you look at his strengths, I mean, he is a very strong zoning character. So you know, if you struggle, if you don't have counter movement options like a teleport, you know, he can really cause a lot of damage, like against a Jax or a Baraka. So yeah, it is a fatal L, yeah. So I don't know, man. I think A, I guess. Just for his zoning and the soul steal alone. But again, to be honest with you, I've not seen anything about him at the moment that would... I think potentially he has the ability to be a higher tier, but at the moment, I've not seen anything that would suggest to me... Yeah, I've not seen anything that would suggest to me that he's like a top tier character. Yeah, like I said, crushing blows, not amazing. Ease of use isn't great. Overall damage is fine. Mix up the potential is 0. He's got big gaps, but his zoning is amazing. And I think once people start to utilize Soul Steal more as well and start making use of crushing blows and stuff, especially if you've got like if he Soul Steals Aaron Black, for example, he goes from having a couple of okay crushing blows and a crap fatal blow to having an amazing fatal blow and amazing crushing blows. So, you know, he's always one Soul Steal away from having amazing options. So I think A is fair. I think unless we start seeing a massive influx Shang Tsung players. I don't think there's going to be anything at the moment that puts him above an A. Okay, who should we do next? Should we just do it in order? In order of what they've got here, or shall we go? Should we start at the top and work our way down? What do people want to do? How do people want to organize it? Yeah, Corpse Drop is amazing. I mean, any projectile that doesn't count as a projectile and goes full screen and does the same damage as a throw and can be amplified, it's a pretty solid move. Let's just go in the order they've got it here then. Unless if people in chat want me to do a specific character, feel free just to chime in. Like if you want me to do whoever your main is, or I'm happy to do whoever. But we can just do it in the order that we've got it here. Oh, sorry, don't want to keep yawning. Sorry. Kano. Kano's an interesting one. I've been playing a lot more of Kano recently because I think he's a really well-designed character in terms of like aesthetics and the way that they've done all of his moves and stuff. Variation-wise, you only really see Ripper, which obviously has the command throw and the combo extender. But we did see a dirtbag win on stream. Old Valhalla X27, I believe, was his name. We actually saw a dirtbag Kano win on stream at Evo, so that was pretty hype. I think people are starting to realize that dirtbag isn't as abysmal as they previously imagined, but it still doesn't seem as practical as having a command grab and a alright, catch you in a sec, dude. It doesn't seem to have it's not as viable as having a command grab and a combo extender. So with the lumbar check, he can get 300 damage, almost like 310 damage, 1 bar BMB, so that's pretty decent. But yeah, he's only got one really practical variation at the moment. Movement options, obviously, he's got Kano Ball. However, it is unsafe on every version of it other than the Air EX one, which is safe. There seems to be a weird bug that sometimes you can duck it. That's not consistent. I've managed to duck it a couple of times, or potentially low profile the second hit, but I'm not sure how consistent that is. But it is a good... it is a practical option, especially if you want to reverse or punish slow moves like Sand Trap, and you want to cover big distances of the screen at one go. It's actually in Dirtbag, he has the Vegemite power up, which gives him the ability to absorb one hit of projectile. So that is really good, because obviously if somebody's trying to zone you out and they're throwing projectiles at you, you can do the Vegemite buff, and then you can just breeze straight through a projectile and hit them with the ball and get back up in their face. So his movement options are fair. Overall damage is low. As I said, 300 and you're looking at like 320, I think, for a 2-bar combo, so it's not great. He's only really got that one combo that he can hit confirm off into the big damage as well, the 2-4-1-3. So yeah, overall damage is a bit low. Crushing blow requirements. He's got crushing blow on either side of his throws, so obviously that's good. And he's got back 3, which is amazing, the crushing blow, but he doesn't get anything off it. So it doesn't launch you or anything. It just does a bit more damage. And then he's got, if your command, I think he's got the command grab when it catches a wake up roll. Is a crushing blow, but again he doesn't get anything of it. It just makes it, I think, 310 damage, which is fair. So, you know, if you read the roll and you command grab it, but it's a bit trickier to hit. So crushing blow requirements, not great. Ease of use, don't think he's very easy to use. I think he's easy to use, again, I'm sure this is applicable to most of the characters in the game. He's easy to use in the sense that if you were just to pick up a few strings and go online with him, you could probably get a fair amount of success just from command grabs and Kano balls, but to get the maximum amount of damage, his B&Bs can be a little bit finicky, and the fact that he does have, you have to learn how to do tick throws. The fact that his command grab is down, back, forward a command. Throw crushing blows. Yeah, you're right, man. You're completely right. Can we do Johnny next? Yeah, definitely. We'll do Johnny next. But yeah, characters that have 2 throws on their crushing blows, I think that if you're going to have anything, I think that is... Because then that goes into mix-up potential as well, doesn't it? Like I said, if you fail a tech on a crushing blow throw, and they have 2 on each side, that means that they've already locked the next one in as well. So that's terrifying, because then you've just got the mix-up. No, I don't think he's C. I don't think he's C at all. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Johnny next. Don't get me started. You see me just getting like, meh. Hey, Theodore. Yeah, he's not. That's what I'm just saying. He's just not a very easy to use character to get the most out of. I don't know if he's super risky, but then he definitely. Sometimes he definitely does have to take risks to get in, especially with normal Kano balls. And a lot of his string, like his overhead is unsafe, the forward roly-poly is unsafe, the forward 2 low grab is unsafe. So, he does have a fair amount of mix-up potential. Obviously, he's got a command grab as well. He's got crushing blows on both his throws. So, and he can tick throw from normal strings. So, his mix-up potential is actually fairly strong, I think. Not like super, super strong. Yeah, definitely. If they fail the tech, you can use it whenever they fail. So if the requirement is, because some people have throw crushing blows, some people have throw crushing blows, but they're like Shao Kahn's one, which has to be a reversal punish. But if the requirement for it is they fail a tech, then yeah, I mean, we'll get to that, but yeah, that's a good point as well. Yeah, if you can definitely use a front and back throw in one match. So his mix-up potential is pretty solid, I think. Any character with a command grab, as well as crushing blow, like Baraka as well. If you've got a crushing blow and a command throw, then that definitely makes your mix-up game stronger than like a normal character that doesn't have any of those options. So I think his mix-up potential is pretty strong. Tournament results. Where is he? Kano, right at the bottom. Biohazard. Yeah, Biohazard's the only... And Mustard as well. Mustard's got a decent Kano, but... Yeah, right. I mean, literally right at the bottom. I'm sure video games has something to say about that. I think take these rankings with a bit of salt, because obviously, looking at this quickly, video games has been to 2 tournaments and got second twice. So he's already got... Oh, what am I talking about? He went to Versus Fighting as well, didn't he? And got 5th. So he's already... like here, it's only got 1 main top 50. It's got 0. So take these results, looking at them with a pinch of salt. But I think being here probably is fair. But Biohazard did win that E-League tournament a couple of weeks ago, but then it's because he's Biohazard. So it's a very similar situation to Foxy and Kung Lao. Is they're both sick and they can play characters that aren't widely considered to be good characters because they've got such a high understanding of the game. Like Biohazard's flawless blocking in that tournament was just pure, like it was just immense. He was like a robot. But that's not specific to Kano, that's specific to Biohazard because he's really good. So yeah, I think that's a fair. I don't think he's bad. I think he requires. I think the sentiment of what you're trying to say is right, but I think that you've put it in a bit of a harsh way. I think that he's not. Where did we put him last time? B-. I don't think he's an awful character. Oh wait, let's finish off talking about. So flawless block gaps, yeah. So as Anishan just said, you can flawless block pretty much all of his strings, which is unfortunate. And like I said before, his forward 3 is punishable, his overhead is punishable, his forward 2 is punishable. You can flawless block between forward 1, 2, the spit and the headbutt. That's got a massive gap in it. I'm pretty sure you can flawless block 2, 4 as well. So yeah, massive. All of his main strings essentially have massive gaps in that you can flawless block, and all of his main moves are, like his main normals, are punishable as well, apart from back 3. So yeah, really not great options there. His wake up is up to, both his wake up options are fine. His should we do fatal blow as well? Might as well. Fatal blow 4. Yeah, his wake up options are fairly decent. Up to is pretty good. Like he moves forward quite far. It's a bit slow, but it's got quite a long range. And his up 3 is pretty good as well. Like obviously it's the acid toss, so it's the range is pretty decent. It's not amazing, but it's better than Shang Tsung's. And his fatal blow is okay as well because he does do that like big lunge headbutt. So you know, you can get a lot of mileage off down 1 into Kano Ball as well if somebody's mashing. I don't know. Obviously, I've not got minuses this time, but I think C+. I think I put Kano as a C+. I don't think he's bad enough to be just a C, but I don't think he's good enough to be in the B. I think he's got too many gaps. His strings aren't great. His tournament results, speak for themselves. His mix-up potential is good, and having crushing blows on either side, as we've said, is really good. But yeah, I think C+ is probably a fair place to put him, using these criteria. Does anybody disagree with that? Do they think that I'm chatting nonsense, or if there's anything that I've forgotten about? Again, I don't really play Kano, so there might be some glaring pro thing where you're like, oh, you've forgotten about blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, let's put him as an A+. But as far as I'm aware, I think he's a C+. I think that's fair. You guys agree? Going once? Going twice? Sold. Okay, so Kano's a C+. Cool. Then we'll do Johnny. Johnny for the dude. So last time, I put Johnny as A-. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Lock Jim. Biohazard is a good Kano, but that's because Biohazard is really good. Yeah, I think C. I'll say C+ and not a C, only because of the mix-ups. If you pick Ripper, I think having a command grab and crushing blows on either sides of your throws, I think it's a fairly, and he has got overhead options and he has got low options, so he can mix you up. So he's not awful, and back 3 crushing blow is pretty good. So, but yeah, I think C+ is fair. But last time I put Johnny as an A-. So on his variations, I can't even remember the names of them. Yeah, the thing is, so Johnny Cage is a weird one, right? When Johnny Cage came out, straight away, everybody wrote him off, right? Because he's got lots and lots of hitbox issues, which is ultimately outside of the character's design, but you have to include that in the game because it affects their viability. So a lot of his moves whiff on a lot of characters. Yeah, Showstopper and something else. I can't remember what is it. Stunt Double? Is the other one called Stunt Double? I think. Yeah, when he came out, everybody wrote him off. Said that he was dustbin basically because of all of his whiffing issues. Yeah, he is fairly fun to play. Yeah. all of his whiffing issues, the fact that he's got no overhead, his crushing blow requirements are trash. He doesn't do great damage. I mean, we're going to go through all of this in the criteria anyway, but I'm just saying the reasons why everybody wrote him off. However, as the game increases, as the game comes out rather, and more people are playing and more people learn more about the game, at its core, I feel like Johnny is slowly going up. Yeah. Yeah, I think Johnny is slowly going up and up as the game comes out because people are getting better at the game, and he plays, right now, I think he plays quite a good version of this game in the sense that he has very, very good, I mean, a lot of his strings are plus frames. Yeah, exactly, Vicor, yeah. So his mid-range game is pretty strong. He can whiff punish you with back 3 or forward 4 or forward 3 as well. His space pressure game is in the corner, especially if he has meter, is amazing with the plus frame energy balls. Yeah, he can force neutral pretty well with his moving forward normals. So I feel like, seeing at the moment as this game is quite poke heavy, I feel like having somebody who's so plus all the time, yeah. And that's another good point, Loot. His shimmy game is great. At the moment, I think he does have a lot of tools to be a strong character. But we'll go through, so we'll start from the top and we'll go down. But I think, yeah, I just wanted to highlight how everybody wrote him off at the start. But I think as the game is getting more and more, as the game's being played more and more, I think people are understanding more and more that he is a stronger character than people thought. So variations. I don't think I've seen a single stunt double. I think I fought one stunt double out of however many thousand games I've played of this at the moment, so we'll write that one off. So he's got one decent variation. Not many people seem to use the punch hands. I think Irish Mantis uses it quite a lot, and he's a decent Johnny. But yeah, it's not amazing in terms of his variations. Movement options, he has a shadow kick, so obviously that's a good reversal punish tool, but in terms of like actual movement options, well, his strings can move him forward, which is good in terms of whiff punishing stuff, and obviously, as I said, shadow kick is good, but in terms of actual movement options, obviously doesn't have a teleport or anything like that, so again, another character that approaches the game in a more linear sort of way. Overall damage, I think, is a bit low. Maybe outside of the corner. I mean, he doesn't get anything really off a 2-bar crushing blow. Off a 2-bar BMB. As far as I'm aware, it's always hit confirm into nut punch, into whatever at the end, which usually finishes at about 300, 310 again. So not massive damage. Yeah, I mean, he definitely has some. Yeah, we'll get to Fatal Blow. Don't worry, we'll get to Fatal Blow at the end. Arguably one of the better ones in the game. But yeah, overall damage a bit low. Outside of maybe getting a down 2 crushing blow or getting a big jump in the corner. Crushing blow requirements are trash, as we've said. Outside of down 2. Saying that, I did get hit with a mime crushing blow the other day. That was demoralizing. The mime, for those that don't know, he has a crushing blow off his mime counter, which is if it's the first move of the game. So that was a bit demoralizing. But yeah, his crushing blows are trash. Ease of use. I don't know. I guess fairly easy to use, in the sense that his combos don't require massive amounts of execution, and he has a very linear play style in the sense of pressuring you into plus strings, so it's not like he's got crazy, well, I guess ease of use and then the mix-up potentials we can discuss at the same time. He's not got massive mix-ups. Obviously, you just block low most of the time because of back 3. He doesn't have any overhead mix-ups. So yeah, I would say fairly easy to use, but again, having 0 mix-up potential. 12 tournament results. Yeah, I know, bloody hell. And that's only in that specific variation as well. Imagine actually having to choose that variation just to whiff 3 camera flashes. Whiffing anything in this game is a death sentence, let alone whiffing where you have to whiff 3 times. Johnny Cage, yeah, Kombat tournament results. Obviously, Kombat is amazing, as somebody said up there before. Yeah, that's what I was saying at the start, Con. He's definitely not as bad as people thought he was, but I still don't think he's an amazing character, but he does have a lot of useful... Johnny Cage is, I would say, like 2 buffs away from being an amazingly strong character, but right now, you know, outside of Kombat and a few other guys like Irish... Yamimi is a really good Johnny Cage. Irish Mantis is a really good Johnny Cage. Kombat is a really good Johnny Cage. Yeah, he does require good game knowledge, but I think that he's not like a super difficult character to just pick up and play in terms of like just having the controller. Yeah, his down buttons are sick. That's why you would never... Yeah, back 3 is sick. That's why I'm saying you would never block high against him, because a lot of his moves, because he does have weird hitbox problems as well, you might even get lucky if you're blocking low and stuff might just whiff straight over your head regardless. So, yeah, tournament results outside of Kombat, not great. Flawless block gaps. Yeah, Shock Jock is the main one. I couldn't remember what the other one was called. I think it's Stunt Double? Yeah, well that's exactly what I was just saying. Outside of hitbox issues making him not viable, I think he's the way that he was designed to be played is quite strong, especially in this current poke-based meta. But okay, all right, thanks guys. Yeah, I was baffed. Showstopper and Shock Jock. All right, thank you. Yeah, I completely got confused there. That's my bad. Oh yeah, I've been hit by standing 1 anti-air a billion times. Yeah, his strings are good, and let's add normal strings, because Johnny Cage's normal strings are amazing, right? My man. Johnny Cage's normal strings are amazing. His pressure is amazing, especially in the corner when he's getting you know, with its plus frame energy balls, his plus frame, you know, when he's got the +6 and the kicks. Yeah, I can do Scarlet next, definitely. The Dude, thank you, man. My man, thank you for the follow. The Dude. Yeah, so big, I think his strings are great, and as far as I'm aware, they're not, he doesn't have any gaps, or many gaps. I mean, the thing is, he does have gaps, but that's because of hitbox issues. That's not because of, like, Frost, where you can flawless block everything. He has big gaps, but it's not because... And they're punishable, but it's not because of how the character was meant to be played. It's only because... yeah, as Con said as well, the gaps, the hitbox issues just mess him up. Wake up options, up 2 and up 3. Yeah, I know. Yeah, 1, 2, 4 is +6. Yeah, 1, 2, 4 is +6, and then all of his strings that end in that, apart from the one with the big slow jump back kick, all the strings that end with the jump back kick are +6. He's +3 on the energy balls. So yeah, he's super plus. Yeah, his corner combos are pretty good as well, and the restand is good. Obviously, having the nut punch restand mix up is fairly decent. I forgot about that, and mix up potential as well. Yeah, so wake up options. Up 2, I think up 2 and up 3 are both pretty good for him. His up 2, obviously he jumps to that little knee, does that little knee. Sorry, his up 3. And then his up 2 has quite a high range. But yeah, his fatal blow, obviously the only character in the game that can cancel it. And I don't know if you guys have seen the ketchup and mustard video. It's a flash, as Con just said, it's a flash parry. So the way that works is you can absorb a hit of armor with it. So very, very, very strong crushing blow. And it doesn't use, as Con has just said as well, it doesn't use it. So if you were to use the parry portion, the parry component of the fatal blow, it will go on cooldown as if you whiff it, but it doesn't vanish. So realistically, you can actually use it to parry multiple things. Obviously, you have to be careful because if he's got fatal blow, it means he's on low life, so you don't want to start going crazy with it. But yeah, that is a very, very strong fatal blow. Back to, which one's back to? I can't remember what move that is. I've completely lost what move that is. Wait, where did I put him last time? A minus. Yeah, I mean, I don't have minuses now, but I think B plus. I think B plus. It's similar, in a similar sort of thing to Noob, I guess. He's not a terrible character by any stretch of the imagination, but having these massive hitbox issues is obviously hurts him a lot. As was just said, I can't remember who said it. Actually, I think it was Con. Very matchup dependent at the moment. Lots of massive hitbox issues. No overhead, but then he's got very, very good lows. 14 frame projectile. I mean, they're both high because so you can duck them, and the shadow kick is high too. But they're all really fast. Good reversal punishes. Nut punch restand. So he does have options. But I think B plus is fair for him. You know, until they rectify these issues, these hitbox issues, and they give him some decent. The minute they rectify those hitbox issues and they give him a couple of crushing blows, I think he could even potentially go up to here, just because of his frame data stuff as well. I think he has the potential to be a really strong character, but just now, yeah, he's a bit underwhelming. But again, most of that isn't even through his fault. It's just because of the hitbox issues that seem to be plaguing a lot of characters in the game at the moment. Sound fair? Anybody disagree with that? At the moment, any Johnny Cages think I'm being an asshole? Going once? Going twice? Sold. Okay, so B plus. Next is Scarlet. So last time I put Scarlet as A. Haven't really seen much. Oh, cool. All right, nice. Yeah, I haven't really seen lots of Scarlets being played. We saw a reasonable amount. I mean, Foxy played her as a counter pick against Samij at Combo Breaker. Then we saw King Gambler do well at DreamHack Dallas with her. Subsequently, we haven't really seen her being used a lot. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's true. Yeah, I completely forgot about that, especially as a Garrus player. Alright, going back to Johnny very briefly. See, that's hitbox issues though, and that's hitbox issues in his favour. So, as we were talking about Johnny Cage whiffing on a lot of people tend to whiff on him. So, a lot of mids just tend to go straight over his head. But again, that is a hitbox thing. So that's probably something that does cement him in B plus as well. Is that whereas he does have hitbox issues for him, against him rather, he also has hitbox issues for him. Thank you, Nishan. I completely forgot about that, to be honest with you, dude. But you're completely right. He can duck mids, but I don't think that's going to be something that will remain in the game, because it is it's ridiculous. But yeah, he can duck mids. As a Garrus player, I find that very disappointing, because he takes out my main string just by down one-ing me halfway through it. But yeah, so Scarlet, obviously Heart Piercer and Blood Drive. Is that what her variations are called? Yeah, exactly. It's even got. It's even. I mean, We'll definitely talk about King Gambler. Yeah, he's the best Scarlet. Um, Variations. I think some people use Blood Drive, but I think for the most part, people tend to use. People tend to use Heart Seeker because of the teleport and the parry. Obviously, having a teleport as a predominantly zoning based character is a super strong option. I think both of her variations are viable. But I feel like Heart Piercer definitely is the stronger of the two. So she's got two decent variations, I would say. Movement options, as I've just said, having the teleport is an amazing movement option, obviously. No, not as far as I'm aware, Papa. They haven't said. Oh, any mention of patch from anybody has been pure, including myself, has been pure speculation. So, yeah, I've been hit by the parry a lot. Especially when it first started, yeah. Theo played really well. I feel sorry for Theo because I think he got into top. Was he top 16 at the end, or did he get 17th, top 32, and then he fought Deoxys, and I think it was Deoxys, and Deoxys absolutely zippity doodahed him. But Theo was playing Sub-Zero as well, so yeah, Theo did really well, considering that he hasn't been travelling. But yeah, Blood Drive is definitely a more zoning orientated spec, but having the parry is a very good option because she can get life back from it if she amplifies it. And again, she's got the teleport. Any character that has a teleport is an amazing option, especially if you're a zoning character, because you think she's zoning you out with her long range buttons, and you know she's trying to hentai you with her tentacles, and you slowly pushing her into the corner, and then she just F's off out the corner, and it all starts all over again. So, you know, amazing movement options, especially for a zoning character. Overall damage is, I would say, fairly low outside of a crushing blow. She's got crushing blows on both throws, I think, as well. Yeah, zippity doodah, Dave. He's got a couple of. I think she's got crushing blows on both her throws. Correct me if I'm wrong there. She's got one on if you hit with the overhead twice, but it's the second slowest overhead in the game after Raiden, so it's not that difficult to. Yeah, it's not that difficult to block. To see coming and block. I think, is it back 3-4? She's got an counter hit as well. Crushing blow. So her crushing blow, her overall damage is a bit low, which makes sense for a predominantly zoning character. I think she can get almost 300 damage meterless though if she hits you with the 2-1-2 into the 4-4. We can talk about Kung Lao next. Yeah, 4-4 is +6. Yeah, so that's mad. We'll talk about that when we get to strings, but her strings are fairly decent, even though there are a few gaps. But yeah, her overall damage is a bit low, obviously because she's a zoning character, but her crushing blow requirements are okay. As I said, she's got mix-ups on both throws, so, and then she's got a couple of counter hit ones, which are fairly decent as well. So nothing mind-blowing, but still fairly strong. Ease of use, I don't think she's very easy to use. I think that my man. I think that she can be potentially. I mean, I've said this about all the characters, to be honest with you, but I feel like at a lower level, if you just learn how to throw fireballs, you're going to frustrate a lot of people. But I think at a higher level, she tends to struggle. Sly Soga King, my man, thank you for the follow. I think she tends to struggle a little bit with ease of use. I don't think she's easy to use well at all. Mix-up potential, outside, as somebody just said, I can't remember who, the parry is a fairly decent mix-up option, as Connor just said as well. So, it would link a little bit into flawless block gaps, but she does have a lot of gaps in her, my man. She does have a lot of gaps in her strings. However, she does have a parry. So one thing that King Gambler's really good at, and he did a lot of DreamHack Dallas, was his ability to cancel into the parry after he's been flawless block reversaled. So he'd do 1, 2, 4. Is it 1, 2, 4? Forward 1, 2, 4. The technical one. The one that ends in the scythe that you can usually cancel into tentacle, sorry. He was cancelling it into the parry because he knew he was going to get flawless block reversaled. So that's pretty sick as a mix-up. Obviously having a teleport... having a teleport is quite solid in mix-up games because, you know, she can teleport next to you or she can teleport miles away. Yeah, patience. I mean, that's the thing with all zoning characters as well. You have to be patient to get the most out of them, and a lot of people, especially who play Mortal Kombat, don't get me wrong, I'm not patient at all, which is why I can't play zoning characters. You do have to be you do have to be really, really patient to get the most out of zoning characters like Cetron and Scarlet. So yeah, good point from Con there. But not a massive mix-up character outside of... well, actually, I guess she's quite unique in the sense that she can mix you up a little bit. So if she gets you at full screen, she can mix you up almost with projectiles. So if she's got you at full screen and you see that really slow-moving blood bubble, because it's a high, she can actually hit you with the tentacle, which is a mid. So she is a little bit unique in the sense that she does have a zoning, she does have a projectile mix-up game. But yeah, outside of her normal pokes and stuff, yeah, her pokes, I mean, we can skip to normal strings and then we'll go back to the tournament results, but lots of gaps in her strings. Her pokes aren't very fast at all. As I said, her overhead is super slow and super punishable. Big gaps in her strings. Who says she sacrificed? Yeah, Mad Galaxy, excellent point. Alex12 the Great, my man, thank you for the follow. Yeah, Scarlet's teleport is completely unsafe. You're correct. So she has to be careful if she's using... I mean, obviously it still is a mix-up because it's a teleport, but... yeah, she has to be careful, especially if she's trying to do, like, teleport down 1 or something. Yeah, she does have excellent range on her normals. Arguably the longest range normals in the game, would we say, outside of maybe Frost back 2 and Cabal back 1? Does she have the longest pokes in the game? I guess Shao Kahn as well, with back 4. But essentially the longest normals in the game. And as Con said as well, forward 2 is an amazing anti-air. She can take life back from her normal moves, which is a pretty strong mechanic as well. A lot of her moves, when you amplify them, give her life back. So that's a good tool in a fighting game regardless. But yeah, lots of punishable strings, lots of gaps. She's got the best up 3 in the game, potentially, if you don't low profile it. So it goes really far. I think hers... I think we were talking about this on stream the other day. Hers, Shao Kahn's, and Frost, I think, are the 3 best ones. But you can low profile it if you're like Eren and you've got like a limboed Keanu Reeves Matrix style low profile move. But amazing wake up options. And her fatal blow, whilst it's quite obviously it's almost a grab in the sense of its animation, it does so much damage. I can't remember who said it was. I think maybe it was Lockjim who said it before. Does so much damage. So much damage. It's ridiculous. It does not scale at all. So, you know, she hits you with that spear. There was a Scarlet at Evo, actually, and they were surprised how much damage it did, because it was on the end of a combo and it ended up doing like 60% damage. So, yeah, massive damage on her fatal blow. But yeah, tournament results. We just skipped over tournament results. Tournament results, outside of King Gambler, I mean, under half. If Noob is halfway. Outside of King Gambler, there's not many Scarlets. Foxy Sonic Fox played her at Combo Breaker. As I said, as a counter pick, so technically that's a top 8, but not really. So yeah, where did I have her before? A. I think I'm gonna put her in B+ now. I think a lot of these characters are going to move. I think not a lot of them are going to move down, but I think the ones that do that will move down, it is going to be because as the game is getting played more, and people's understanding of the game and its mechanics gets greater, a lot of these characters are going to struggle because just because of the way that they're designed. Like this game, outside of Cetrion, this game, and Shang Tsung potentially, this game doesn't have a lot of place for pure zoning characters. And Scarlet's, I mean, I play Garrus at the moment anyway, so her zoning means nothing to me. You know, as soon as she misses one tentacle, I sand trap her, 314 damage, and then I'm right next to her, you know, and then the mix-up starts again. So, but she's not a terrible character by any stretch of the imagination, as we've said. Super high damaging fatal blow, the ability to teleport, having a parry as well is an option that not many characters have in this game that you can use to get life back. What is? In what way, my dude? Did somebody ask me to do another character after this? I think somebody said Kung Lao. How would you improve it? But yeah, I think B+ is a fair thing for now. Unless obviously there are big gameplay changing mechanics, or we see some sort of crazy new tech with her. I think she's going to be upper B for now. Do people tend to agree with that? Any Scarlets who take umbrage to that? Yeah, I just wanted to try and get. I mean, you can see what my criteria is on the right. This is obviously an offline tier list as well, as I said at the start, because online tier list would be completely different and dependent on matchups and stuff. Depending on what character you play, obviously your tier list is going to be different to everybody else's. But yeah, for now, if anybody thinks Scarlet should be somewhere else, oh, thanks, Wycor. B-. I don't know. I think the options that she has puts her outside of just a normal B tier character. Yeah, I think she just has too many options to be B-. It's just that some of those options aren't as effective as they are. Basically, I have Cetrion in my head as like the premier zoner in this game. So she's not as good as Cetrion, but she has fairly, or Jade say, but she has like a mixture of options of both of those, but she doesn't do anything as good as either of those two characters. So I'd put those characters above her, but I don't think that she's bad enough to be below a B. Yeah, exactly. Just having those options. A teleport by itself is such a strong option. And the parry as well, because if you're smart like King Gambler, he can use that parry so effectively. You know, if you parry somebody's flawless block reversal, you've just taken away a defensive meter and an offensive meter, and you've got your damage back, and you've got a knockdown, and you know it provides you with so many options. But yeah, definitely B, but yeah, in line with noob. Yeah, Cassie. All right, you want to do Cassie, do you? Cassie Cage. Well. Where did we have her on my first tier list? Number 3. I think we might have to change that. Based on... So see, when did I do this tier list? Let's have a look. I did this tier list June the 26th, right? So it's been over a month now. This is almost the third... When did the game come out? May, June, July, 3.5 months, say. Yeah, don't worry, bro. We'll get we'll get to Cassie. We'll get to all of her shenanigans. So, Cassie Cage. I think when the game very, very, very first came out, she wasn't considered to be an absolute top tier character. But as the game has gone on, I think for the majority of us, I think we're starting to see, especially at tournament level, yeah, bro. Especially at a tournament level, we're starting to see that everybody considers Cassie Cage to be a very, very strong character indeed. I think somebody pointed out to me at Evo there was 3 Cassies in top 8. So I think it was Samij, Sonic Fox, and Foxy switched to Cassie. So yeah, very, very, very strong character. Both variations, Digital Soldier and Yas Queen, are very, very, very strong. Obviously, Digital Soldier has the guns, so makes her a very strong zoning character. And then Yas Queen has the reversal punish and the restand with the drone. So yeah, very, very strong. Both of her variations are very, very strong. Arguably, and people here can correct me if I'm wrong, but she has the 2 best. She's the character whose variations are. She's the only character whose both variations are good, but they're the best. As in, she's the best character whose both variations are viable. If that makes sense. So, yeah, amazing variations, movement options. She doesn't have a teleport, but I think that's maybe her only weak area. But then she can close the gap with her shadow kick. Yeah, yeah. A 9 frame. Yeah, I know. Even Jackie's is -2. But yeah, movement options. Not obviously she doesn't have a teleport or anything, but you know, she does have a couple of strong reversal options, especially with the shadow kick as an anti-air and the shoulder charge in Yas Queen. So I mean, this is obviously we all know where we're going to put her, but we should still just go through the list just for the sake of completion. Yeah. Theodore, you just took the words out of my mouth. Obviously we know where we're going to put her, but let's just for the sake of discussion and for the sake of completion, we might as well go through the list and discuss why we consider her such a strong character. Overall damage. Well, I mean, what are we looking at? 320 1-bar combos. So it's not like she doesn't do Sonya levels of damage, but she does do a fair amount of damage. Crushing blow requirements. Very good. As Con just said, a 9 frame high crushing blow. That's plus on block, which nobody's going to sniff their nose at. Playing devil's advocate, the crushing blow on shoulder charge in Yas Queen, I think all of the ones that are like when the opponent blocks late, they're not great, but you know, F her. She's not going to be, she can't have everything. Then she's got, is it the back one? Hey, August, just in time, my friend. Yeah, auto shimmy. Yeah, I mean, ease of use, I would say very easy to use. As we saw, I mean, obviously it's Sonic Fox, but his bread and butter combo, Unbreakable, was it like 300 Unbreakable damage with 111 drone, 111 shadow kick, or whatever it was, and did 300 damage. A completely Unbreakable. So that to me doesn't count as a very very difficult to use character. Obviously as well, her zoning is so strong in Digital Soldier as well. It doesn't require a massive amount of execution. Yep, low gunshot. Yep, thank you, Lock Jim, as well. Yep, going back to the Digital Soldier. Low gunshot, low profiles. Low gunshot, low profiles. Most projectiles as well. So, yeah, I would say fairly easy to use. As we said, 9 frame mid, that's 0 on block. You know, she doesn't require massive amounts, and in turn that goes with mix-up potential as well, because of all of her moves having such amazing frame data. She's got, how many restands does she have? So, you know, her mix-up potential is mad. Yeah, very strong. And it's not like crazy shenanigansy set play, but, you know, just having... Yeah, well, that's exactly why both of her... She's got the best variations. She's got the best complete variations in the game. No. No one has two variations that are as viable as Cassie's. Tournament results, I think, speak for themselves. She just won Evo. Yeah, again, as a Garrus player, she can low profile stuff. I mean, we can talk about normal strings. She can nut punch between forward 2, 1, 2. And the thing is as well, it trades with Garrus as well, so that you can't do... Even if you were to do the forward 2, 2, 1, 3, some characters it trades and you can get a forward 1 combo afterwards. She's so plus on nut kick, yeah, she's so plus on nut kick that you can't get the combo afterwards. So, yeah, I mean, wake up options, wake ups are fine. Fatal Blow is arguably, what we're going to say, top 3 maybe. Not even because it's what of the animation of it, as in like the input, as in the going into of it. I have never been able to punish this Fatal Blow in my life, ever. I'll grab her maybe sometimes afterwards, but I've never ever been able to punish it. I don't know why. I don't know what about it that makes it so difficult to punish. I mean, please somebody tell me if it's just me being rubbish, which could be. But yeah, I just cannot punish this Fatal Blow. God knows why. And obviously she has the ability to do it at a multiple of different angles. Bro, I just can't punish it, man. I just can't punish it. Well, we can do Devora next, because I've been playing a lot more Devoras recently, so I've got a bit more knowledge about. Shout outs to Crazy Gamer if he's here. But yeah, I've been fighting a lot more Devoras recently. But yeah, I mean, she doesn't require a lot of decision, does she? We'll put her right here as the best character in the game. I don't think anybody's got any counter arguments to that, have they? That there's some massive amounts of texture. Does she even have any gaps in her strings? No, it's 100% not -15 because I can't reverse or punish it with a throw. Hold on, let's use. Where's this? For people that want a good website resource for fighting games, this is a really good website just to check stuff quickly. Let's go to Cassie. Finishes? Now what would it be? Special moves? Yeah, there's absolutely no way this move is -15 on block. Because I have never reversed or punished it with a throw, and a throw is 10 frames, so. Yeah, that's rubbish. But yeah, anybody disagree with that? Hey, I was just talking about you, man. Were you in the chat for there? I was talking about Devora and how I've played you a fair amount recently, so I'm learning the matchup a little bit better. Did you hear me call you? You saw the bat signal in the air and you came straight into chat. You can flawless block her low string. Oh, okay, I didn't know that, but yeah, we'll leave Cassie right here. I think that's fair. That's fair to do. I think now that Crazy Game has shown his face, maybe we should do Devora, and he can help us with this. Oh, so it is 9 frames at least. Cassie's mix-ups, she doesn't, as I was saying, it's not so much about her mix-ups in being like a traditional, like a Garrus 1-1 sand trap or 1-1-1 overhead. Yeah, dude, I was literally just talking about Devora and you came into chat. No, I don't think she's D. Yeah, I don't. Well, unless you mean like, yeah, D for for -12 in practice mode. Yeah, so there's a lot of frame data in the game that's a bit wrong. I was talking to Foxy about it at Critical Combat, actually. But yeah, she's just the fact that all of her strings leave her so plus. It's is that why? I guess that makes sense actually. If she hits you deeper or shallower, it will adjust the, which is stupid because it's not a projectile, but whatever. Cassie Cage things, because obviously block stun on projectiles is variable in this game for the most part, depending on outside of stuff like Cetrion's rocks. Cabal. Well, we'll do Devora and then we'll do Cabal. What, the fire truck? We'll do Devora, then we'll do Cabal. But yeah, basically her mix-ups aren't traditional mix-ups. It's more about yeah. I actually thought that's why you chimed in, because you heard me say that. I literally just mentioned you and then you came into chat. Yeah, she just has such good frame data that she can just she takes her turn back basically. It's similar to Jackie in the sense that it's not a traditional mix-up. It's just overwhelming pressure that forces a stagger and keeps her turn. So, you know, you think, oh crap, she's going to throw me. So you duck and then you get forward into a full combo. So, yeah, she just has all the tools, basically. Devora, where did I put Devora last time? I think I put her at the C. Okay, well, we'll talk about her variations. Yeah. Devora does. I mean, but you can down to it if you time it right, but it is very difficult to down to. The hitbox on it is really weird. The hurtbox rather. Variations. Somebody just said, I can't even remember who just said it. Oh, let me check. Said that she was it Vicor? Said that equally tournament viable. Thankfully, we've got Crazy Gamer in the chat, who is a very good Devora, so he can help us go through this one. Yeah, so Devora's tournament variations are Buzzed and Arachnophobia? Is that the other one? I can't remember what the other one is called. It has the web, the Spider-Man web thingy, and it has the spinny move. Neither of which seem particularly good. Oh. Alright, Michael, that's fair. If that's what you meant, then that makes perfect sense. Though, my stance on Devora has changed a lot. Well, maybe not a lot, but it has changed a fair amount. So, variations, she only has one. If you're going to play her properly, again, Crazy Gamer, chime in at any point if I'm chatting rubbish, but variation-wise, you're only going to play Buzz. So she's only got one viable tournament variation. Movement options aren't great. Obviously, she doesn't have a teleport or anything like that. So she just approaches stuff as a normal character. Overall damage, outside of the anti-air crushing blow, yeah, if she hits that, that's amazing damage. But outside of that, her damage is pretty weak. I mean, it's tough because she's not, the way that her kit has been designed. And again, Crazy Gamer, and as Papa Master just said as well, even though I smoked his Devora the other day, lol, but she actually has a fairly decent Devora. But yeah, that's the thing, is that the way that she's designed, her damage is low, but that's because I think that the way people have found the best way to play her isn't by going for big combo damage, it's for going for the setup. So her overall damage outside of crushing blows and stuff is a bit weak. But we'll talk about, I think that will come more under mix-up potential. Crushing blow requirements, not great. I would say, again, Crazy Gamer, correct me if I'm wrong, she's got a couple of counter hit ones. Obviously the anti-air one is amazing. She's got a couple of counter hit ones. Then she's got one that I think if it hits on the last hit, you get a crushing blow, which has hit me a couple of times. But yeah, not massive, not massively useful crushing blows. Extremely difficult to use. Yeah, I would not put her ease of use at all as low. Like even at a lower level, she's not a character you can just pick up and play. Yeah, her anti-air is amazing, but well, she's the only character in the game that got nerfed before it came out, wasn't it? Because Sonic Fox found that weird bug, no pun intended, or weird gimmick with her, and she literally got nerfed day one. So clearly that she was at one point considered a very, very, very strong character, but they just cut her legs out from under her straight away because whatever Sonic Fox found was gonna change the course of the game. Oh, was he? Well, how was Raiden nerfed? Was it Storm Cell? Yeah, I mean, I just don't. She's just not easy to use at all, is she? That's the thing, is that you have to put in so much, and that's why I considered her. That's why I considered her to be such a low character. Last time I did I put her as C. Did I put her as C minus? C. The last time I put her as a C was mostly because of how difficult she is to play. Yeah, she's got a couple of whack crushing blows, doesn't she? Yeah, I wasn't sure about Raiden getting. I would be lying if I said I heard it. Potentially I could. Yeah, pre-patch Devora. Yeah. So she got nerfed straight away. So Con's right. They're gonna have to be very, very careful because she's probably one buff away from being right at the top again. But very, very strong mix-up potential, I would say. Yeah, dude, I'm considering it as well. After Crazy Gamer starched me the other day, it's sort of inspired me to potentially pick her up. That's her main gimmick, really, is mixing you up, isn't it? You can't. It's all about going, as Crazy Gamer just said, 21% into a setup, and you have to just keep. It's just layers and layers and layers of setup. You have to have the EX bugs out, and then you put the other bugs out, the air bugs, and then you've got the overhead and the lows. When you hit me with the low tentacle into crushing blow, I didn't actually know you could do that, so that was sick. Into fatal blow rather. So I think her mix-up potential is strong, but it's literally the only thing she has. So that's why it makes sense that it's a bit stronger than a normal mix-up game. But she's literally as Crazy Gamer just said, she lives and dies by her setup. I can't even remember what she used to do. Was she just mad rushdown in the last game? I actually can't remember at all. Yeah, I mean, another bug character. See, I like setup characters, but I don't have the patience for it. Hey, JLT, how you doing, my dude? Welcome back. How are you? Yeah, EX bug is sick, especially when it hits you when you go for like a throw and the EX bug comes out and interrupts the combo, and then you get another full combo after that. Stuff like that is cool. So yeah, I'd say I'm playing on PS4. So this is I'll say for PS4 as well. I'm saying offline. So dang. Alright, that's F. Yeah, nobody wants that. So she's basically Cassie. Lol, 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 lol. Yeah, so basically this is an offline tier list. And I guess it would be just PS4 because all the tournaments are done on PS4. But yeah, Papa Masha is. August Burns Red is as well in our chat. If you join my Discord, which I'll post the link for now. Actually, if you do Discord, there's plenty of players who play on PC. If you want to join it and try and put some games together, Tournament results. Who have they put as the best Devourer? Leatherface. I don't even know who that is. But yeah, Devourer's tournament results aren't there. Next to Garrus. Oh, that's Frost. Yeah, this guy's... Whoever did this tier list used like their super old original profiles, so... This is Frost. Normal strings. I mean, as we've said, she's got an amazing jump in. A lot of range, like we said, down one into the tip, 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 tip. She is strong. But yeah, she can get her turn, as Crazy Gamer just said, she can get her turn stolen very easily. Does she does have quite a lot of gaps as well in her strings, doesn't she? As far as I can remember. But she does have a fairly, especially I think it's her forward too, so she's got a lot of range. She's very similar to Scarlet in that sort of sense, I guess, where she's got quite long range on her normals, and you can whiff punish stuff quite easily with her. But again, it will just be into a setup. It won't be into like it's not like Shao Kahn's forward 1. He's going to whiff punish you into 300 damage. That's just not how she works. Wake up options. No, I mean they're fine. Her wake up 3 is pretty good. I've never been hit by her up 2, so couldn't tell you about it really, but I think it's just fine, like a normal up 2. And her fatal blow is okay. It's not got massive range, but it is quite fast. But we had her. What did we have her last time? We had her as a C. I think I'm going to put her C+. I think I'm going to put her C+. Only because, having played more Devourers, I feel like she does have a lot of tools, and she does, once she gets her bug pressure started in the corner. Oh dang. Above Kano. You reckon above Kano? I guess I'd agree with that. I guess she's definitely got more options than Kano. And she can apply much more pressure than Kano can. Yeah, I think I'd put her up by 1. Not because... Mostly because now that people's understanding of the game is getting higher, and people like Crazy Gamer seem to be unlocking her potential a little bit more, she doesn't seem to be as bad as people were saying originally, but she does require a lot of effort to, as Shadow Asura just said, you have to put in a lot of effort with her. So yeah, I think C+ is fair. I don't think she's trash. I don't think she's bottom tier at all. I think she's, for the amount of options that she has, just Cassie at the moment. But let's see. Let's have a quick look at Devourer. Forward 2 is good. I mean, yeah, the frame rate on her moves isn't great, to be fair. -9, -6, -15, -15. Yeah, it's pretty trash, to be fair. Looking at it all the way through in one go. Shut up, August. We'll get to him. We're going to do Garrus last, just for you. But yeah, anybody disagree with her being C plus. Everyone good with her being C plus for now anyway? Going once. Going twice. Sold at C plus. Cabal, yeah? Where's Cabal? Bep. Where did we have him last time? So we had Cabal as S last time. You wouldn't put her above Kano. What, but Devora and S? I don't know. You'd put her below Kano? Alright, we'll put her below Kano. We'll put her below Kano. But yeah, on that tier then. I'm happy to put her below Kano. If enough people say that. To be honest with you, as I said, I'm only just learning the matchup now. I'm playing crazy game and more, but if you guys think she's below Kano, then I'm happy to put her. I wouldn't put her below than C plus, definitely, but I think that's fair to put her here. Cabal. Variations. Yeah, last time we had him as S. Variation wise, yes, I think both of his variations are good. Mean streak is +2 when he cancels it, which is obviously very good. Makes it a very strong cancel at the cost of a defensive meter. Clean cut obviously is amazing. Both, yeah, that's true. That's only because Biohazard plays Kano though. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's a fair point. Because, yeah, she just doesn't have the results, whereas Kano does because Biohazard plays her, so that's very fair. Yeah, Cabal, both variations are good. Both variations have strong aerial zoning games as well with the glaives. Depending on which one you want, you can either have it vertically down or across. Obviously he's got a straight 50-50 and clean cut, which doesn't lead to amazing damage, but just having the 50-50 is a strong option. So yeah, both variations are viable. Yeah, I know, to his detriment as well. That's the sad thing, is a lot of these characters, I don't think any character in this game is completely unviable, but I feel like, well, actually, no, that's a lie. I feel like maybe Frost and Kotlar, but we'll get to them in a second. There are very few, let me rephrase. There are very few characters in this game that are completely unviable. However, especially at top level, when the top level players are playing the top tier characters, you are definitely hindering yourself by not picking a top tier. So as good as Biohazard is, you know, he's definitely going to make his life so much harder just by sticking with Kano. And I'm a firm believer of playing who you like. I would never ever encourage somebody to tier whore just if they're a normal player. However, again, on the other side of that, if you are a professional player and you do want to get the results, you're going to have a very hard time playing a character like Kano. But we'll see. I mean, again, maybe there'll be a patch in the future that changes the way that the meta is, or even changes these characters specifically to the point where they make them more viable. But for now, yeah, Kano isn't going to help anyone win anything. Yeah, Cabal movement options. His movement options are great. Obviously, Nomad Dash is a very strong tool of closing in. Obviously, it's completely unsafe on block, but if they get a read on you, usually after a blocked projectile, they think you're going to jump or press a button. He's going to Nomad Dash right up into your face, and the mix starts again. Oh yeah, don't worry, we're gonna, yeah, well, I mean, What the Fire Truck has basically gone through the whole thing by himself anyway, but we'll go through it again just for the sake of discussion. But yeah, basically what you said is exactly why he's considered a strong character. Obviously movement options are great, and then when you've got the Nomad Dash cancel as well, that makes it even scarier because, you know, either he's going to pull the trigger on it or he's not. So Yeah, his overall damage is a bit low. And the thing is as well, which sort of we'll talk about in terms of ease of use, before we get into crushing blow requirements, not only is his overall damage a bit whack, but his optimum damage combos... Sorry, I just got something stuck in my throat. Oh, sorry. His optimal damage combos are super difficult to do. So, you know, I think August was telling me that his optimal... My man! Correct me if I'm wrong, August, but you said that his optimal damage combo requires 3 dashes. It is consistent, but it's not great. For the amount of effort that you have to put into it, it's not... What is it? At a push... Outside of a crushing blow, it's like 300 again, 300 on a 1 bar. I use Begaza 2151, my man. Not a new question at all, my friend. You ask as many questions as you want. I use a DualShock PlayStation 4 controller. Just a normal PlayStation 4 controller. I tried Hitbox for a little bit, but I didn't have the patience to stick with it, but I've always just played on controller. Yeah, 291 bar combos is definitely on the lower end. 1 bar, yeah, 290, 30%. That's definitely on the lower end of the damage scale. Again, considering how much effort you have to put in to get those combos, that damage as well. He's definitely not an easy to use character at all. Even though his strings are great, and his crushing blows are great. Yeah, so the consensus seems to be about 30%. Just smudge my glasses clean. Yeah, his overall damage is low, and ease of use is not great. Yeah, dude. Trust me, when we get to Raiden, we can moan about that together. Crushing blow requirements. He has great crushing blows. Really, really good crushing blows. Obviously, he's got the 224 crushing blow, especially when it's a mix with the clean cut. It's always terrifying. He's got that big sweep one. I don't know what string that is, but that gets it. If that's a counter hit, that's into a big combo. They're very, very practical, which is the key thing. Mix-up potential is amazing in both variations. Obviously, clean cut is just a straight 50-50. Yeah, don't worry, we'll get to Sonya. Clean cut is a straight 50-50. And obviously, mean streak, nomad dash cancel, as I've said, is +2. So both of those are really strong mix-ups. Even mean streak cancelling into the low glaives, because mean streak you don't really have to worry about. Yeah, it is definitely easier to react to Kombat offline, but it's still especially clean cut, it's still a 50-50. I mean, I find mean streak much easier to deal with, but you know, good mean streak players. One thing that always catches me is when they do nomad dash cancel into jump, and I'm like, bear, and then they just land on my head, and you know, and then it's 300 damage combo. So yeah, mix-up game, very, very strong. Tournament results, we haven't really seen it though, have we? I mean, he's here. Mikaidi, I've never heard of him. Outside of the UK, I mean, we've got some strong. We've got some strong cabals in the UK. Was it Sonic Ninja played a really strong cabal versus fighting? Obviously, Nivek played a really strong cabal versus fighting. Zarakameka's a strong cabal. Yeah, Vignality had a few strong cabals. So, yeah, clean cut offline is much scarier than mean streak, 100%. I mean, they're both pretty scary offline, but 100. I definitely agree. Clean cut is scarier. But he has not won. As far as I'm aware, he hasn't won a major. I think it is mostly down to the fact that he doesn't do that much damage. As consistent as it is, as consistent as his damage is, it just, you need to do a lot to get to get like the upper levels of the damage Yeah, 100% fire truck. Kabal is what I would probably like to call a normal top tier character. If the rest of the characters weren't so crazy, Kabal would just be like a normal top tier character. You know, he's got a lot of good options. He's really good, but you still have to work with him to get results. Whereas the rest of these characters, which we'll talk about, they don't require as much effort, due to, so we say, certain design choices. Normal strings and flawless as well. He doesn't have any gaps, and his normal strings are amazing. Yeah, his strings are easily the strongest thing about him. Very, very strong strings, completely safe for the most part. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, I didn't even talk about the restand, even though somebody else mentioned it as well. Obviously, he's got the restand as well, which is another mix-up. He is really fun. I just can't play him, man. Honestly, Soga King, I've tried so many times to pick him up and just learn him and do some B&Bs, and I just can't do it. I just do not click with him at all. Even though I think he's such a sick character, I think his design is amazing. I love the way that they've used his super speed so much in like his intros and outros. I think he's got one of the best fatal. Well, we'll talk about the fatal blow in a bit, but I think he's such a cool character. I'm absolutely trash with him. I just cannot get those B&B downs at all. Yeah, wake up options. His up 3 is pretty good, even though I think it's quite punny. I think it's -10. I remember Mr. Viper telling me, so it's quite unsafe. Up 2 is pretty decent in the sense that it goes quite a long way. So yeah, that's a fairly decent way up. His up 3 is not great. Yeah, he doesn't have any gaps at all in his strings. Yeah, he's really fluid. That's a good way of describing him. And his fatal blow is absolutely insane, right? You know, the fact that he dashes off the other side of the screen makes it extremely difficult to punish. It is obviously, as per his main gimmick, it's super duper fast. Yeah, just overall, I don't think he's S anymore, but I am going to put him in A+. I think he's a very strong character, just utilizing all of those tools. But you do have to... No, I was gonna... You know what? At the moment, Shadow Asura, it's tough because... Or Shadow Asura, rather, but I've been reading your name wrong, my apologies. It's tough because I'm struggling playing this game at the moment because I just want Nightwolf. So I'm having a really tough time playing it competitively at the moment because I main Garrus. I just don't want to be Garrus anymore. I want to be Nightwolf. So yeah, I'm just struggling with him at the moment. Just struggling playing online. But next Tuesday, this time next week, I'm telling everybody right now. Listen right now, everybody. Next week we're going to be doing a mega stream. Usually I stream 10 AM to 3 PM. Next week we're going to stream till like 6 or 6:30. We're going to spend the whole day going over Nightwolf tech, looking for optimal combos, doing time towers, going online, getting all his outfits. Next day is literally going to be a Nightwolf mega stream. So if you guys want to see like maximum tech and day one combos, tune in next Tuesday, because I'm going on holiday on Thursday, so I won't be back till Monday anyway. You know what it is, dude, Fire Truck, he just isn't on I just don't think, yeah, alright, if there's a balanced patch and they tweak, maybe, but right now, the amount of effort that you have to put in with him, like, even if you compare these two, right, the amount of effort she has to put in to open you up compared to the amount of effort he has to do to open you up, they're just not in the same league. And if you see the rest of the characters I'm going to put in S, barring any sort of like massive outburst from the rest of the chat who are going to be like, no, you're an idiot, what are you doing? Then you'll see all of the characters I've got in S tier are, they play a different game, basically, and I'll explain why when I... It is low, but it's not. Her damage isn't what makes her so terrifying. It's everything else. She's just the most complete character. But I think for now, A+. Does anybody disagree with A+ outside of Fire Truck? Not that I'm singling you out or anything, but I know that you seem to feel quite strongly about it. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Look, I put him S here. This was a month ago. I put him here because I thought, yeah, because of exactly the reasons that you just said, top tier character. But literally just over the last month or so, as we've seen the game evolve and we've seen all the tech start coming out, we're talking about Cabal now, Nick. As we've seen all the tech and stuff coming out, it's just yeah, he's just not keeping up with the rest of the characters. But you're completely right though. If there's a patch or a tweak or something like that, yeah, Nick coming in with a hard read C. Yeah, he's not S, but he could be. He could potentially be. He's not far off. He's not far off at all. A little bit of tweak to his damage, you know. Maybe make his combos a little bit less complicated to do, and he'll be up there. But yeah, that's exactly what I said before, August. He's a strong character. He's a really strong character, but he's still playing Mortal Kombat 11. These guys that you're going to see at the top, they're not playing Mortal Kombat 11 anymore. They're playing their own game. So I think A+ is fair. Both of Cassie's variations, as Con said before, both of her variations are amazing. Because she can switch. Oh, you're struggling with a zoning matchup? I'm just going to switch to Yas Queen. A. Yeah. A+. I'm going to put him in A+. I think he's better than Shang. The reason why I've got Shang here, for those that just tuned in, is because even though I think he's great at zoning, I don't think he's been fully utilized yet. And he's got a lot of gaps in his strings as well, and a lot of his strings are whiff punishable. So that's why he's an A and not A+. Because he's not, I don't think he's being played to his full potential yet. But Cabal, I think, yeah, Noob is very balanced. I feel like Noob gets an unfair shake of the stick because of his crushing blows and his complete lack of mix-ups, but very, all these three characters are really good, but they rely on you being good with them to be good, if that makes sense. So none of these characters are easy to play. So A+, should we move on? Who should we do next? Going once? Going twice? Sold. A+. Who are we looking at next? Should we just do it in order? Or is there anybody want me to do anybody specific? Anybody in chat? Just give a shout out if they want me to do anybody? I don't know. Who do you guys want? Should we just do it in the order they've got here? It doesn't seem to be any real specific order, but Garrus. Not Garrus. I told you, we're doing Garrus last. I'm going to put him here. Just for you, August. Sonya. Alright, we'll do Sonya, then we'll do Frost. Okay, Sonya. And then Frost. Okay. Sonya Blade. We had her as the best character in the game at one point. We'll do Kotal next. We'll do Kotal after Frost. We had Sonya Blade as the best character in the game last time, right? S tier. Tournament variations. You know, she was smashing people. Everybody was playing her at the top. Yeah, low damage, no mix-up options, no tournament revolt. Yeah, bad crushing blows. Yeah, bad zoning. Yeah, terrible character. D+. Next, moving on to Frost. Yeah, we'll start from the beginning. Variations. Lockjim is correct. She only uses, is it Ringmaster? I can't even remember what the other one is called. Yeah, Sonya needs more mix-ups, yeah. Bad zoning, yeah. Sonya Blade, she only uses the one variation with the rings, right, and the overhead drop. But yeah, that one variation by itself is obviously a very, yeah, it's called Ringmaster, yeah. Always a very, very oh, hey Doom guy, I'm doing excellently well, my friend. How are you? How are you recovered from your weekend? Oh, you think so? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I think there's a few, like Garrus's Gauntlet. I think Garrus's Gauntlet, stuff like that, is definitely not going to be, is definitely not intended. That's why I didn't really start using it, because I'm sure they're going to patch it out. Yeah, you just charge up his Gauntlet, and then suddenly your combos do 100 more damage. It's, it's definitely not what it's supposed to be. But yeah, variations. Mainly Ringmaster, but then what makes her strong doesn't really come from her variations anyway. But yeah, she does have one, obviously, that's extremely viable. Movement options, no teleport or anything, but it's one area where she might not be super strong in. Overall damage, I think we can agree, is very low. Definitely needs a buff. What's she looking at, like 200 damage? Yeah, spent yesterday's, yeah, bro, I've been absolutely shattered since Saturday. I am too old. Thank you for sitting with me. Special shout out to everybody in chat, to Doom Guy, who was one of 2 people that sat with me for all 12 hours of my stream on Saturday. Him and his iguana. Or his bearded dragon, rather. That's not a euphemism. Yeah, special shout out to Doom Guy for sitting with me literally for 12 whole hours on Saturday as we restreamed Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Movement options, she's just a normal character, she doesn't have a teleport. Oh really? Auto mod is on point, man. My nun auto mod. Yeah. Overall damage is, thanks, man. Yeah. Overall damage is absolutely horrific. The fact that she can hit you with 380 damage 1-bar combos, I think, is a joke. I'm not in shot. Yeah, dude. You were Papa. Shout out to Papa too for joining in, and Nick as well with his new computer. Well, his old new computer. And Jordan as well. Video games. Joe sat with me. Was the other guy who sat with me. Thank you to whoever that was. Somebody just host me? It doesn't come up in my chat anymore. It's so annoying. Hey, Meggie again. How's it going, Meggie? You good? Yeah. Yeah, so she can get, she's looking at 390 damage 1-bar mid-screen combos. Absolutely ridiculous. As far as I'm aware, as far as I'm concerned rather, they did not mean for her to have that much damage, because it is absolutely ridiculous. Damn. Yeah, massive amounts of damage. I mean, we can just talk about these 3 in general. Really good crushing blows. I saw one the other day. I didn't even know she had a crushing blow on her jump. On her jump fireball. So somebody did crushing blow, up hit thing. Put them on the floor, throw them back up in the air, and then did a crushing blow with the gauntlet, which I didn't know if it hits in a 4 or more air combo does a crushing blow, so it did 500 damage. So that's ridiculous. Crushing blow is super easy. Overall damage absolutely immense. Yeah, her air rings, yeah. She did, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw what she did to, as August mentioned about her ring cancels in the corner. Let me just show you what she did to, let me see if I can find Dizzy versus Undead Jim. This is a match that was on stream.
I love a hitbox. I'd love to own one, but she does respectable without it off that one launching string. But okay, another one, Dizzy. Just get that dash.
Look at this comeback, right? All right, let me set the scene, right? Look, 2-1, Undead Jim, massive life lead, right? Yeah, it was anti-air crushing blow into the rings crushing blow. Yeah, massive life lead. You know, Jim's sitting pretty. What, 40 damage. What is that like? That's like a 1-1 or whatever it is. This is actually a roundabout. To be continued, right? Watch what happens next. So he's broken, right? He's broken in the corner. Oh, wait. He's broken in the corner. So now he has no defensive meter. He's in the... I mean, first, obviously, Dizzy's sick at Sonya anyway. But Undead Jim is a sick Jax. So, here's the situation. Jax has just broken away in the corner. He's got no meter, right? He's got 50% life. Sonya has 40 life left and all her meter. Let's see what happens next, shall we?
He's looking for the forward two if he gets it. The low connects, he has a bar. Wait a minute, there's nothing here. He's got fatal blow and he's going to use it. Will this kill? I think it might. It might. There was a lot of hits before, but this is doing a lot. That's it. That is it. More than enough damage. Dizzy TT.
536 unbreakable damage. Even if he didn't use the meter there was nothing. Even if Undead Jim had 4 bars, there was nothing there he could do about that combo once he got hit. And he got hit by the low as well. He didn't even get hit by the overhead, right? He blocked low. He blocked high because he expected the overhead. He got 2 ring cancels into fatal blow. And the funny thing is, even if Dizzy hadn't have cancelled that into fatal blow, yeah, well, yeah. Even if she didn't cancel it into fatal blow, it still would have done 50%. Hey, there you are. Oh, Jim, I'm so sorry, dude. I didn't know you were in chat. Everybody follow Undead Jim because he's a sick, hunkered down Jax. But yeah, Jim, I'm so sorry, man. I didn't mean for you to relive that, bro. But it was just, I was just using it as an example of Sonya's damage. Now I just feel bad. It's yeah, she's a strong character. She's a strong character. I mean, funny enough, ease of use. Going into ease of use. Just sitting there Vietnam flashbacking. Every time you see a donut, you just flip it on the floor or an onion ring. Jim, do you want some onion rings? Onion rings? Onion rings? But yeah. Ease of use, funnily enough, I don't think she is super easy to use in terms of getting like absolute max damage out of her. Like ring cancels like that, they're not like super duper complicated, but they do require a bit of execution. And even her 380 damage combos, if you know somebody who's not yeah, no, it's not a mix-up. It was a full yeah. Hey, Place of Power, how's it going, man? It's not a full it's not a mix-up. He literally got touched once and then just ate 55% unbreakable damage. Even if he had 2 meters, there was nothing he could do there. He just had to hold it. But even if she didn't fatal blow him, she was still going to do 55% damage unbreakable, because that's just what she does. So yeah, you just have to hold it. That's why, as August said as well, I don't think she was intended to do that much damage. I don't think they realized exactly what they were getting themselves in for when they gave her those sorts of tools. Because I mean, obviously they got Ronda Rousey to do the voice for her, so they wanted to make her good, but having 390 damage 50-50 combos is a bit absurd. Oh, Doomguy, that collector thing was a heartbreaker. If you didn't point out why, but see, this is the thing, and this isn't specific to Mortal Kombat, right? This isn't specific to Mortal Kombat, but so a lot of the time, testers, especially nowadays, the testers of the game are ex-professional players. So the people that they've got, or current professional players. So it's not, because they must test this game into the ground, right? They're playing it and they're playing it and they're playing it. And these guys used to play at an absolute top level, so they know what they're talking about and they know how to play the games, right? Again, this isn't just for Mortal Kombat. But what happens is, oh dude, that was that was so sad. What happens is, when it gets in the hands of, obviously, not all top players think the same way. Not all players think the same way. So obviously the same thing happens every time. Now, people are going to uncover things that the game testers haven't discovered because they just play the game in a different way. Their mind works in a different way. It's like same thing with Marvel games. You know, look at someone like Marlin Pie. You know, they designed the game. They designed Marvel 3 Doom to be, you know, however character, and then he's got him doing these like touch of death dance combos that go on for like 45 minutes. You know that they tested that game for ages, but they didn't expect somebody like him to come in with his ginormous brain and just completely create this whole new meta. Yes, I did do a punishment video of Collector, actually. I'll put it in chat. But yeah, it's just the same thing that happens in all fighting games, you know. Once it gets into the hands of the players, they're just going to discover stuff because they just think about stuff in a different way. That was with my old music. Boom. There you go, dude. That's my How to Punish Collector. But yeah, mix-up potential. I don't think we need to go into that in intricate detail. Everyone's aware of her mix-up potential. Tournament results. She hasn't won as many tournaments recently as she did at the start. But obviously, yeah, she's still... I mean, this is top 5 really, isn't it? She's still in the top 5. Dizzy... Is Dizzy the best? Would we say Dizzy's the best? I think so. I mean, Scar is still obviously really good. I'm trying to think who else plays Sonya. I mean, Tekken Master when he plays. Sorry, dude. Tekken Master when he plays it is a very strong... no worries, man. He's a very strong Sonya. But I guess Dizzy's the best. But yeah, obviously the tournament results... She's not winning as many now as she did at the start of the game. Like, my man. But still a very strong character. Normal strings, flawless block gaps. I mean, the funny thing about Sonya... Lock Jim, thank you for the follow, my dude. My man. The funny thing is about her strings... Obviously, she's got really strong strings. But the funny thing about them is that not a lot... Like, back 1-2 isn't safe. It's -9. It's just the fear. She puts so much fear into you from the potential of getting mixed up that most of her strings that are punishable, people don't punish because they're so terrified about getting opened up. So, I mean, that's just testament to her strength, right? That's just testament to the mind game that that she puts you in, is that she terrifies you into not punishing things that you would punish. So her normal strings are decent, obviously having 50-50s built in is super strong, but even then, like I said, back 1-2 is -9, back 1-2-3 I think is -11, but it's just that fear that you're just like, oh my god, she's going to do something else. So, you know, but all of her strings, obviously, her strings are amazing. Any character that has built-in 50-50s from an option, you know, crazy good. Wake up options. Her up 3 is actually trash because you can just... I've actually high crushed it a bunch of times. Sorry, low crushed it. Yeah, down 3 is great. Down 1 is one of the best anti-airs in the game. It even hits behind her. You get a full combo off it. Up 2 is okay. Up 3 is not great. And a fatal blow is pretty average. It does a lot of damage though. Yeah, I mean, she has a very, very strong zoning game as well. She just has all the tools, doesn't she? Much like Cassie, the only difference between Cassie and Sonya is that Sonya is a bit more unsafe. So whilst she has the damage, dude, Nightwolf is going. I'm telling you right now, as much as I love Nightwolf and I'm 100% sticking with him, Nightwolf's going to be here. I can smell it. But yeah, for now, I think Sonya. I mean, I don't think she's the best anymore, but I think it'd be hard. People would be hard pressed not to put her as S, right? Anybody disagree with that? Anyone think that she shouldn't be in S tier? I don't think she's second best, but we haven't got to Jackie yet, so yeah, we'll stick her at S. Going once, going twice. Sold. Dude, I would hate it if Nightwolf was D tier. Yeah, I mean, she definitely, that's what I mean, place of power. She definitely is much more unsafe than Cassie, and she does have to commit to stuff sometimes, which can cause her to get punished quite heavily, but it is just a risk-reward thing, isn't it? If she does pull the trigger on it and you get hit by it, as we just saw in that video, you know, you block wrong once, you eat 56% unbreakable damage. Yeah, Nightwolf will completely depend on the tournament variation, man. I mean, that's the thing about that trailer. I watched it so many times and I was so hyped for it, but it could be none of those moves are in his tournament variations. Literally 0. If you think about the ones they showed, all of the ones they showed in Shang Tsung's trailer over and over again, how many of them were actually in his tournament variations? 1? So, yeah, we'll have to just wait and see. Before we get to Frost, I'm just going to go to the loo super quickly and get a bottle of water, but I'll be back in 2 minutes. And then we'll do Frost. Hello. Aaron Black. I will do Aaron Black. I've got Frost, Kotor, and then I'll do Aaron Black after Kotor. These are just the requests I've had. So I'll definitely do... No, it's definitely... they're not going to give the parry... Well, Zonya's got good zoning. I guess Aaron Black... Can you parry Scud Shot? That'd be cool. I'm guessing it's good. If they do put the parry in, the projectile parry, you know it's going to have massive amounts of recovery. So if you whiff it, hey, Log Jim, thank you for the subscription to my YouTube as well, dude. Raiden after Aaron. Yep. So Frost. Frost is... Yeah, dude, you have to... you have to, man. Because I always forget to drink water, and then I'm like, why can't I fill my face? Frost I had as D last time. Spoiler alert. I think she's still in the same place, but we'll talk about it. Oh, dude. I told you, did I tell you guys I played Asa de Mazzi the other day? I lost faith in myself mid-set. I was like, man, I just don't have the mental to deal with this this Sony. I mean, he's amazing, but I was just like, ugh. Each match went on for like 6 days. I was just like, please, just end the pain. Frost is a weird one. Frost, don't get me wrong. I think Frost is an awesome character. I think in terms of redesign, they've probably redesigned her the best in this game. I love the cyber redesign. I love the way she looks. I like the way her moves look. However, I feel like she is on the weaker side. I did my How to Punish Frost video yesterday, and she's got more gaps in her strings than a block of Swiss cheese, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Variations. I mean, it's just Ice Machine really, right? Nobody uses the other one, whatever it's called. That weird head that just sort of rolls on the floor like some cut price horror movie and takes 40 minutes to explode. Yeah, she only has that one variation. And again, I don't think her moves... I think my biggest complaint about Frost is that the moves that she has, and I've said this before, the moves that she has doesn't complement her strings very well and the way that she was designed. So... yeah, Ice Machine, yeah. So I think her biggest issue is the moves they've given her in her tournament variations, outside of like the massive gaps in her strings, obviously. So yeah, she only has one viable variation. Movement options. She's got the lunge, potentially, and the forward 2 that can close the gaps quite quickly, but other than that, she just has normal movement options. Overall damage is fair. You're looking at 300 damage, 1-bar combos. Yeah, her zoning, I was gonna talk about that in damage now. Her damage is fair from 1-bar combos, like as I said, about 300, maybe 320 if you use 2 bars. Her corner carry is great with the ice lunge. She's got fairly decent zoning, yeah, with her shield and the ninja stars, the ice ninja stars. Yeah, obviously she's got the blade spin, which is good chip, and they're both versions are essentially safe on block as well, which is strong to end her potentially unsafe strings. But yeah, overall damage isn't great. Outside of crushing blows, which we can talk about, her crushing blow damage is pretty good if she gets a crushing blow. And to be fair, she doesn't have many, but the ones that she does have are quite practical. Obviously, she's got one on her throw. She's got the back 2-2 one. It does if you amplify it. If you amplify blade spin, it does quite a lot of chip damage. I'm not muted, am I? No, okay. That was my worst fear, just sitting there talking like an arsehole for 20 minutes by myself. Yeah, no, but it makes... The way that I think blade spin should be used is because she has such massive gaps in all of her strings, blade spin should be used if the opponent can show that they can flawless block you. Oh wow, I didn't know that. You can clear Canis acid if you use it as a shield. Dang. What was I talking about? Yeah. You use blade spin instead of a normal move that you would use in her string. Because she has so many gaps, you can use blade spin to not only to make it safe, but to bait out flawless blocks. So maybe at a higher level, that's where blade spin can be used as like a mind game. You know, if you do back 3-2, which you can flawless block, you can do back 3 into spin and bait out the flawless block. So maybe that's more of a practical use for it. That tickled me. Upsetty spaghetti. Yeah, ease of use. She's not that easy to use. Yeah, I know this week. Yeah, that's good too. I like that. Yeah, she's not very easy to use. I mean, if you want to just zone, she's pretty easy to use actually. She doesn't require a lot of execution, I guess, for complicated zoning. But trying to find constructive ways to use her strings and special moves, not that easy. Hey, Gore. Yeah, she's not. Well, I was gonna mention briefly about mix-up potential. I mean, a couple of her strings have got overheads attached to them, but other than that, she's not gonna mix you up really at all. Tournament results 0. As far as I'm aware, the only time we've seen a frost is when Tweedy picked her against Ninja Killer for some reason in top 8. Oh, she's still above Shao Kahn, funny enough. Dr. Stabs. Who the hell is Dr. Stabs? Oh, he came 5th at Toryukan. Damn. Oh, but he didn't just play Frost. Or did he? Well, I guess that's not bad. So, you know, maybe she is viable a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, in terms of majors, she's not being played at all. Normal strings, as we've said. She's got excellent range. Back 2-2 is an excellent move in terms of hit confirming. Down 4 is an excellent poke because it's got such ginormous range. She's got quite a good mix of low starters as well, like low overheads into lows, or, sorry, highs into lows, whatever, with 4-3-3 or back 3. But the gaps are so huge. And stuff like back 1-2 being -16 and -20 is like, why? All of her overheads are -15 or more. Yeah, just massive gaps in her strings, man. Like, I think that's the main thing that makes her so bad. Outside of her hit confirms and her hitbox issues, which obviously a lot of her moves, I think it was Roofermonger did a video when she first came out talking about how certain moves should hit but they just end up whiffing because she's only got one combo extender, which is the down back 4, the micro burst I think it's called, but it whiffs for no reason on certain hit confirms. So, you know, that takes out a bunch of her hit confirms that she would usually have, which makes her even less viable. But her wake up options, like up 3, her wake up 3 is great. You know, it's got quite a long range. I can't even remember what her up 2 is, but her up 3 is obviously very useful. And her fatal blow is amazing because it's full screen and it's super fast. It's probably her best her best option is her fatal blow. But again, based on everything we've just said, she just I think she's the worst character in the game. Still, I just do not. Maybe if they close the gaps in her strings, that would put her maybe at least a C or a C+, because she does have excellent range on her normals and on some strings. But, you know, the fact that you can flawless block literally every single one of her strings is just so detrimental, especially as people get better at the game and flawless blocking becomes more. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw Evo, and Tekken Master was flawless blocking Dragon, of all people, like every opportunity. You know, you're just not going to have the space to put these, maybe at a lower level, you know, where flawless blocking isn't as viable a mechanic. You can play Frost because people won't be punishing you as much. But at a higher level, at a tournament level, I just think it's very difficult with just the weaknesses that she has for her to be above a D. I mean, does anybody feel strongly about this either way? Is anybody like a big Frost main that thinks I'm being stupid? Then they would put her higher. No. Going once. Going twice. Sold. Worst character in the game. According to Sodium Jim, anyway, and his chat. If I go down, I'm taking you all with me. I'm going to make a list of everybody that was in chat today. S++. Sorry, Nathan, you're too late. Kotal Khan. The other Khan. Variations, I actually think... Where did we put him last time? C. I actually think that both of his variations are viable. Well, let me rephrase that. His variations are as viable as each other. So, from that I mean, you can play either or, I would say, and you're probably going to have the same amount of success with either of them. Yeah, the third Khan, yeah, now. He got baned. Yeah, personally I prefer the Milos, as our boy Sugoi Turtle says in Ascension. No wait, Totemic, because the Ascension is the one with the Sunray and the command grab, and then Totemic is the one with the totem and the cat. I prefer playing the cat, but then the cat is super... It's just because I love turning into a giant cat, so, you know, personal preference. I mean, having a command grab is great, but yeah, movement options. I mean, it's quite funny actually because he does have a lot of forward movement on his strings, so he can get across the screen quite quickly, especially if you wave dash. I don't know if wave dash is an intended mechanic. I can't imagine it is, but you know, with wave dashing, it makes characters like Kotsu and Xiao quite tricky because they can just get across the screen really quickly. Sort of goes against their normal design, but his movement, ironically, is pretty decent because of that, and because of his his long range normals and long range strings. So his movement options aren't terrible, especially if he has cat spec and he just dashes across the screen at you. Overall damage is pretty low still, depending on... yeah, I was going to get to that with mix-ups. Overall damage is pretty low because he only has one extender, which is the uppercut, and even then you don't get much of it. Yeah, Kotal's, you know, the sword where he puts it into the floor, the unblockable. I mean, that gets everybody. The funny thing is that it's like a 20 frame start, or even more. It's like a super long start. Let's see what the startup is. I don't want to give you bad information. Kotsuka. Special moves. It is 41 frame startup. So it's super. That's even more than Z-Hat. Z-Hat's 38. So that's super high startup. Yeah, it can, but we'll get to that in mix-up potential. I'll explain the uses of the Khan cut of the unblockable. But overall damage is a bit low unless he amps himself up with the command grab. Obviously his command grab, if you hit it, it can be stacked up to 3 times, and each time is a damage buff. So if he hits you with 3 of those, his damage goes up by a fair amount. But in terms of like mass, because his combo paths are quite limited, he doesn't get massive damage off of his hit confirms. Crushing blow requirements. His crushing blows are trash, as far as I'm aware. He's got one. Is it forward 1-2-2 on a counter hit, and then he's got, if he trades with the disc. Both of those are crushing blows. But yeah, his crushing blow requirements aren't great at all. Ease of use, I don't think he's particularly easy to use. I don't think any of the lower tier characters are easy to use, which is part of the reason why that they're in the lower tiers. One of the main conditions that I think a top tier character in this game has to get is both throws crushing blow. Oh, awesome! I didn't know that. All right, thank you, Lock Jim. Well, that's good at least. Any character that has... Alright, so that's not too bad then, if he's got 2 crushing blows and a command grab, because that makes him a bit scarier. 2 crushing throw blows and a command grab, that makes him pretty scary, to be honest with you, in that regards. Wow, dang. What, without cheating? I mean, I've thought of a couple of decent Kotsals, don't get me wrong, but... Man, he must have been sick. Yeah, I don't think he's particularly easy to use. Mix-ups, yeah, I think the problem with Kotsal as well is that a lot of his mix-ups are quite gimmicky. Like, he's got a low overhead enders on his strings, but they're both like minus 15, so you wouldn't... It'd be very rare for you to catch somebody out who knows anything about the game. The Khanquake, especially in the corner. So I was watching Video Games Yo play Kotal Khan on one of his casual videos, because he does like casual matches in rank, and he was using the obviously he was sick with Kotal Khan because he's sick with everyone, but what he was doing with Kotal Khan was he was doing a jumping in the corner, getting a knockdown, and then using the unblockable as a meaty, and it covered quite a lot of options. So, you know, like Doomguard just said, you can jump out of it. If they just do it on you mid-screen, it's 41 frame startup. It's completely jumpable, and you can just get a full punish from him every time. But the range of it is massive, so... You know, it's a fairly consistent mix-up tool, I would say. For the moment, anyway, before more people play Kotal, and then people start to figure out more likely when it gets used, if that makes sense, after certain strings when it's better to use it. Obviously, the command grab, having a command grab is always good when it comes to mix-ups, because, you know, you would think, and especially if he's got crushing blow requirements on either side of his crushing blows, it just means that you have to be terrified of any throw he does. Tournament results are 0 as far as I'm aware, outside of Furious Pillow. Is he the best Kotal? No, Quark 28. What's Quark 28 done? He's had 1 result. You got 17th at Finality. Oh, that's not bad. That's pretty good then, 17th. But again, and Valorax put in a good showing at Versus Fighting, and then Furious Pillow, was it at CEO, beat Hayate. So there are, I mean, and like this guy on the PC, as Wycor just said. So I'm guessing there's Kotal Khan character loyalists that have played the game long enough now that they're just sick with Kotal Khan. But again, I would say that that's more them being good than the character being good. Normal strings, they're good in the sense that they do a reasonable amount of damage, but they're bad in the sense that they've got massive, massive gaps. Not only do they have massive gaps, but they're completely punishable as well if he finishes all of them. So, you know, it's that's another reason, like Frost, why he's considered such a bad character, is because obviously Mr. Aquaman plays him too, and Mr. Aquaman's good, but such ginormous gaps between his strings that I don't even know who that is. Lawyers Raw. I'll check him out though, because I love Kotal Khan. I think he's such a cool character, but it just makes me sad that from the last one to this one, they just completely neutered him, more or less. I mean, obviously nobody wanted to get hit with 1,000 damage combos like they did in the last one, but you know, in this one they've just made him a bit, well, they've just made him not as viable. Wake up options. His up 3's got a pretty decent range. Actually, both of his wake up options have pretty decent range. And his fatal blow is okay. Yeah, I mean, I would just put him here. I don't think he's as bad as Frost, even though they both suffer from the same problems. I just think because he does have a command grab in his Ascension spec, and he can heal with the Sun Ray, and the Sun Ray works similar to the Acid as well. In fact, the Sun Ray's a good move because he can just put it on you, and it's just unblockable damage. So, Sunray is a pretty decent move. Obviously having crushing blows, which was pointed out by Lock Jim, is good on both throws. So he's definitely not as bad as Frost, but he is definitely one of the worst characters in the game. Yeah, anybody disagree with that? Anybody think that C is unfair and that he should be in a higher place or a lower place? I don't think it's as bad as Frost. He does much more damage than she does, and I think he just has much more options as well. C, we good with C? Going once? Going twice? Sold at C. No, he doesn't deserve a C, or no, he does deserve a C. Everybody, see, this is one thing as well. Everybody says when buffs. Nah, I don't know, man. I don't think he's as strong as either of these characters. He doesn't have the same pressure. He doesn't have the same movement options. He's more unsafe than both. His crushing blows aren't as good as Kano's anyway. Well, I guess they're quite similar actually. They both work in similar ways, don't they? Both have crushing blows on either side of their throws. They've both got a command grab. It's just that Kano has a lot of high-lows and mix-up stuff, whereas he doesn't. And he's much slower as well. I think C, I don't think he's as good as Kano. Oh yeah, sorry dude. He can heal, yeah. But again, the damage just isn't consistent though, and it's much... I don't know. I don't think he does off one bar combos without, unless he's got the buff, he doesn't do as much as Kano. I don't know. Is the healing enough to put him at C+? I just don't think. I think he's got too many gaps, man, and he's too slow. And he's too punishable as well. Oh, it's definitely underused. I mean, it works exactly the same way as Aaron Black's acid. It's Frost. They've just used the old character before it was revealed who she was. This is all old art. But yeah, this is Frost and D. Yeah, I mean, well, actually, we'll talk about it when we get to it, but yeah. Dr. Doom, yeah, I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, no, it makes sense. Makes sense. You're right. You're right. Yeah, I'm going to leave him at C. I just don't rate him, to be honest with you. I just don't think, outside of potentially getting buffs. But it doesn't, he can't combo into it like Aaron Black. I mean, well, we're going to talk about Aaron Black now anyway, so we can talk about the acid and we can compare and contrast with the sun rays. So Aaron Black, last time we had him as A+. Variations, I think the only really viable one is 52 card pickup. This is Frost. Character on D is Frost. It's just they've got the old, yeah. Yeah, it's not as, I mean, it's awesome, but that acid, man. But yeah, Aaron Black, 52 card pickup, I think, no, not really, because you can actually place where you want to put it. So if they're full screen, if you've knocked them full screen, you can just put it on their heads as they're waking up. If they don't have meter to roll or anything, they just wake up into it. So, I mean, if you were to just do like, say, 1-2, forward 1-2 into Sunray, then yeah, it would leave you exposed. But you can place it depending on where you want to put it on the screen. It works as exactly the same way as Aaron Black's acid. You can just chuck it whatever distance you want. So yeah, you can just put it wherever. Yeah, exactly what Papa said. It's better to just be used as a setup when somebody's been knocked down. Yeah, so I see some people using the other Aaron Black variation, which name completely escapes me. What's it called? Barking Irons. Yeah, I thought a couple of Barking Irons Aaron Blacks, but they just don't seem to be as effective as yeah, if you sit there with a factor 50. No, even Kombat didn't use Kombat. When Kombat was on stream, he didn't use Johnny. He another wrong factor 15. He didn't use Johnny. Yeah, as far as I'm aware. I only watched the Saturday though. I didn't watch any of the Sunday. Papa, please. Yeah, Barking Irons is a much less effective variation, but 52 carb pickup makes up for that by just being extremely powerful with Scud Shot. Movement options, I mean slide. Obviously he doesn't have a teleport, but slide and drop kick means that he can cover vast amounts of the screen in a very short period of time, so you know, that's great. Overall damage, I mean, he doesn't do crazy damage, but you know, he's not a combo damage character. I mean, to be fair, for the amount of damage that he gets, especially off one bar, off no bars, sorry, because if you do 2-1-2-1-2 into the gun launcher or back 2-2-2 into the gun launcher, that's all meterless, and it's about 270, 280 into the acid. So, you know, yeah, dude. Haunts all of our nightmares, trust me. So his overall damage in terms of combo potential is low, but then we go into his crushing blow requirements. Obviously his crushing blows are crazy. You know, obviously the drop kick is really, really good. The crushing blow on the escape throw is really, really good. If he's used all the bullets in his gun, he can just smash you with the gun butt, and that does immense damage. Yeah, his crushing blow requirements are super easy to do. I think ease of use, I think in terms of top tier characters, he's probably the easiest to play in the game. His game plan is very linear. Yeah, very, very linear in the sense of you're just going to do, generally, you can just go into ranked and just do back 2 or 2-1-2-1-2 and into slide or Scud Shot, and you know, you've pretty much learned Aaron Black. His combos don't require massive amounts of execution. I think he's a very easy to use character, to be honest with you, especially when it comes to just mixing up drop kick and slide. You know, online, if you're trying to react to either of those two in 130 ping, it's going to be a myth. So I think ease of use is very easy to use. Maybe not very easy to use, but definitely the easiest to use out of the top tier characters. Mix up potential is, well, it's a 50-50 at all times. So he can cancel into slide at all times, which again, trying to punish online is extremely difficult in terms of reacting to it. He's got the overhead or the slide, which is again a sort of a built-in mix-up. If you just see the run and you're trying to react to it online, you don't know which is which. He can combo into the slide at any point over his overhead. Yep, exactly. He can, as A and B straight just said, he can cancel into at any point during his strings. He can cancel into the Scud Shot, which not only makes it safe, but he can also pull the trigger on the Scud Shot. No pun intended, which is a mix-up in itself, because either you can challenge it because it's not super safe, but if he pulls the trigger on the scud shot, obviously he's going to shoot you in the face. Even on stuff like the dropkick, if you block the dropkick, he can amplify it on block. And there's a little mix-up built in there. Yep, meterless launcher, which is super easy to confirm, which we've already said. Yeah, his mix-up potential is immense, basically. It's like his whole gimmick is just to mix up. Even though top tier Aaron Blacks like Hayate never cancel into slide, you know, especially online, it's very difficult to deal with. I know this is an offline. It's definitely an offline tier list, but you know, just the fear of being able to combo, of being able to cancel into slide or scud shot after any opportunity is just mental. Obviously, he can just sit full screen as well and hit you with those, you know, with the rifle. So yeah, easy to use with a very, very strong mix-up game. Tournament results. Sonic was smashing people at the start when he just stayed with Aaron Black. Hayate won Veniality. Obviously, Hayate also got top 8 at Evo. So very, very strong tournament results. Like he's third on the list here. 14 top 3s, second highest in the game. Yeah, I mean the tournament results speak for themselves. All the top players either pick him. Hey, Toxic! All the top players either pick him or counter pick with him. So I mean, Veniality Grand Finals was Aaron Black versus Aaron Black. You can't flawless block either of his two main strings. You can only flawless block forward 3-2 as far as I'm aware, which generally doesn't seem to be used in neutral very often. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about his amazing down pokes as well. Down 3 and down 4 both are amazing. Punishable strings. I mean, the funny thing is back 2-2-2. I think it's something ridiculously minus as well. Hold on. It's minus 15. Back 2-2-2 is minus 15. But obviously he can cancel into it at any time to scud shot. 2-1-2-1-2 is minus 7, but it pushes you so far away that you can't block it. That you can't punish it, sorry. But yeah, so I mean, a lot of these strings are punishable, but at the very least unsafe. But the fact that he can just cancel into scud shot at any point. Yeah, Aaron doesn't need meter, man. He's just a cowboy. Wake up options. His wake up options suck, to be fair. His up 3 has very low range, and his up 2 has a very weird hitbox. So yeah, both of those are a bit rubbish. But Fatal Blow, eh? His Fatal Blow, would we say, is the best or second best in the game? It's either him or Jax, right? Who would you say is the best? Super duper duper active Fatal Blow. I mean, obviously his is a high, so you can duck it, but I think Jax is probably the best and his is second best, but easily one of the best in the game. Yeah, S tier. I don't think there's anybody complaining that Aaron is S. You know, just has so many options, very straightforward character, very easy to use. Yeah, we're talking about Aaron Black, yeah. You think it's better than Jax's? Yeah, I mean, it's either or, isn't it? Jax's is faster and is a mid, but Aaron's is full screen and is a high, so Aaron has the best. Aaron, Cabal, then Jax. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I mean, either of those three in order. I would put Cabal third. Yeah, the active frames are what kills it. That's the one thing about this game that I think is a bit silly, is how much armor the Fatal Blows have. I don't think Fatal Blows should have as much armor as they do. Frost's Frost's isn't as active. Well, let's see. Aaron Black's fatal blow is 10 frames, and Jack's is. I think you're right, Tamich, but let's just double check. Oh no, actually, Aaron Black's is faster. Aaron Black is actually faster. So. No, I think Kabal's is. I think that the only reason why I would put Jax's is better is because, yeah, as Lock Jim just said, you can't duck it. So it's only 1 frame slower. And if they catch you pressing a button, it's just like, meh, and that's it. You've just had to hold it. Yeah, this is a really good resource if you just want. I mean, obviously this uses the frame data of the game. So if the frame data of the game is wrong, then this will probably be wrong too. But just as like a quick reference point when we're doing stuff like this, I can just quickly jump to it and be like, oh yeah. But yeah, Aaron Black, S tier, one of the best characters in the game. Sound good? Going once? Going twice? Sold at S tier.